Good morning and Merry Christmas, everybody. I hope you are having a fantastic day. Oh, I made the screen too big. Whoops. Let's see if I can get it back to normal size here. And I'll take that off for right now. How you guys doing today? I hope you have a wonderful Christmas. I hope your Christmas is fantastic wherever you are at. I know mine was nice and peaceful, except today was kind of, this morning was kind of all over the place. I didn't do a whole lot of fanfare. Let me jump back up here, pop up in the comments. Didn't do a whole lot of fanfare about the live, getting it all ready hours and hours in advance, mainly because I was just kicking back with the dog. I had the wood stove going, and we were just relaxing and enjoying Christmas morning. Who do we have here? Sand Dollar J, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you as well. Glad you can make it today. Merry Christmas, Linda at Lipstick Lodge. Urban Carlson, Merry Christmas from Sweden. Merry Christmas to you as well. I started this a little bit earlier. Originally, I was going to do it at like 9 this morning. And then I realized it's dark out. And literally the only lighting I have in the cabin is the kitchen lights and the pantry lights. And so it was kind of dark in the living room. And I thought, we'll wait until the sun comes up. So then as I was scrambling to get everything ready, I had to jump out and refill the wood stock because I'd been burning a fire since yesterday afternoon. And then I had to take care of some other stuff outside. And Molly wanted to run around and play a little bit. And, then we got everything started. So I'll wait for a couple of minutes, see who we get in here. Say if we get to 25 viewers, I'll go ahead and I'll play the Christmas tree theme. Let's jump on over here. Sand Dollar J, Merry Christmas. Glad you can make it today. Linda from Lipstick Lodge, thank you very much. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas so far. And Urban Carlson from Sweden, Merry Christmas. Yours is just about over, I'm imagining. It's pretty late for you over there, even though I'm going a little early today. It's like 10:30 in the morning. Merry Christmas to you. Thanks for joining me today. Shirley, welcome. Merry Christmas to you. Hope your day is fantastic. John's Touchpad, hello and Merry Christmas, my friend. Blueberry Bog, Merry Christmas to you and Merry Christmas to everyone. Brian Green, Merry Christmas. Glad you could make it today. MP 1310, Merry Christmas to you from Wasilla. Very cool. Another local Alaskan. You guys, how cold are you up there right now? I'll pull my temperature up and tell you how cold I am. Normally I've got, here's all I've got for a banner today. Right? Normally I have a banner going across the bottom, so I guess we'll get that started. And it's just Merry Christmas to all of you. Thank you for the constant support of me and the channel. I greatly appreciate it. Merry Christmas from Molly and I. I'll open up my phone here. I still have 10 below zero outside, but our high temperature today is supposed to be 3 above. And then tomorrow we're looking at 10 for a high and 9 for a low. Oh, they just changed it. Wait a minute. There we go. We're looking at 11 for a high and 9 for a low with a 79% chance of snow. That is awesome. Awesome. And then on Saturday, 19 for a high and 3 of a low. I'm pretty excited about hopefully not going below zero. It's been a tad chilly the last week or two. But yeah, well, so that's why I was asking you how your temperatures are up there, because hopefully you'll get a break from this too. I know you've been colder and windier than we are. Junior Gridley, Merry Christmas, my friend. Hello, my friend. Happy holidays to you. Happy holidays to everyone here. Also, can't stay on, but having a severe attack of vertigo. Sorry to hear about that, Junior. Sorry. Every once in a while, my ears get messed up, and I get the same way. But take care of yourself, and Merry Christmas. I'm glad you could pop in. The Christmas Live is one that just runs for a while, folks. I'm going to be doing some stuff in the kitchen, so I'll be spinning the laptop around. It's just to hang out. If you've got nobody around, I'm by myself. And my kids are in California, and I'm single, so there's not a whole lot that I do on Christmas Day. So I started this tradition a while back, and it's just been a blast. I just hang out with you, and if you're by yourself and you've got nobody to hang out with, hang out here with me as well. We'll have a good time. Ginger Mast, Merry Christmas from Northern Indiana. Awesome to have you here today. Oh, you have Christmas on the 24th? Okay, very cool. Scott at Hester's Garage, Merry Christmas, brother. It is awesome to see you today. Holy smokes, I'm colder than you are. Wasilla's -2, and we're 10 below zero here on the Kenai Peninsula. That's a bit of a trick, but you probably have more wind than we do, because we have almost no wind at all right now. Okay, everybody saying hi to everybody. Chris, Merry Christmas to you, my friend. Glad you could make it today. Oh, you're welcome. Definitely. Like I said, this is for me too. I don't know. I started this when I was living in the trailer on the property. I just started going live on Christmas, and It's just been a tradition. I would go live on New Year's too, but I'm working New Year's Day, and I'm off today, and then I have a personal day tomorrow, and then I'm off on Saturday and Sunday. So I have 4 days off in a row. You guys are gonna get tired of seeing me live though, because I still plan on going live on Sunday at 3 p.m. Alaska Standard Time. Oh, let's see here. What's I gonna do? Oh, well, I mean, we probably got enough people in here. We're close enough. Here are the Christmas tree submissions to the channel for this year. I don't know if I'm going to get my video edited today and uploaded for tomorrow, but I should be able to. But if you're watching this after the fact, know that every video in the month of December has these Christmas trees progressing by all the ones that folks had sent me pictures of. And I'll run them again at the end of the video this week, next week, and probably a week or two in January as well. But I don't put the names with them. For me, it's all about seeing how everybody decorates their Christmas tree, because everybody's personality is completely unique when it comes to Christmas trees, and I absolutely love them. With that said, let me pull myself off the screen and we'll get this started.
Christmas tree, oh Christmas tree, how lovely are thy branches. Oh Christmas tree, how lovely are thy branches. The sight of thee at Christmas time brings hope and gladness far and wide. Oh Christmas tree, how lovely are thy branches.
There we go, this year's Christmas tree submissions. Welcome, 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 Renee. Glad to see you today. And thank you very much for that thumbs up suggestion, Sandra J. If you do like the video and you want to share it out with your friends, by all means, share the link out on your social media platform of choice. I didn't really share it. Normally, I share it on the Sean in Alaska Facebook page and my personal page on Facebook, but I didn't do it this year. So maybe I will. Maybe I'll go over there while we're doing this. And then Urban Carlson brings up the topic that I just wanted to ask everybody else. So If you've had your dinner already, what did you have for your for your Christmas dinner? I would love to know. If you haven't had your dinner yet, what are you planning for your Christmas dinner? And then I'll tell you what my plan is right now. So I picked up, and it'll be in probably not this week's video, but next week's video. I picked up a 16-pound entire rib roast because we had just a great deal on it. It was phenomenal, and I cut myself probably about a 4 or 5 pound roast out of the middle of that, and that's what I'm having. So I'm having the rib roast, and I'm having roasted potatoes, and I'm having Brussels sprouts, and that is my Christmas dinner. I love having prime rib for Christmas. I absolutely love it. So that's like my favorite thing. If I could have prime rib for every holiday except for St. Patrick's Day, I would. But I'd love to know what you guys had or are planning to have. So that's the answer to that question. What about you, Urban Carlson? What did you have for your Christmas dinner? I would love to know. Eric, Merry Christmas to you, man. Glad you can make it today. I hope your Christmas is fantastic. Robert Curmudgeon, good to see you. We're having roasted duck today with taters, blue Hubbard squash, and other little things. Nice. Yummy, yummy, yummy. I had my first eggnog of the season last night while I watched White Christmas with Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye. And that's probably one of my favorite Christmas movies of all time. And so I had some eggnog with some Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey mixed in for a little bit of warmth. And then another Christmas tradition for me, and it started when I moved up here to Alaska, is I get together with brother Will, his wife Barbara, and then Todd's joined it recently since we've all become super close friends. And we used to do take and bake pizza on Christmas Eve over at Will's in-laws place. And they've both passed on, and since then Will has taken up the tradition. Well, his wife Barb was feeling real bad yesterday. She was sick or a dog. So she went ahead and bowed out, and Will brought the pizzas over here. So I actually cooked the pizzas for everybody. It was me, Will, and Todd. We hung out, exchanged a couple of gifts, had a great time, just kicking back, enjoying it. So, yeah. So did we. It's a weak eggnog for a premix. We'll have to juice it up tonight. Exactly right. Yeah, I'll be doing some eggnog. Here, there's really nothing to show you in the kitchen right now. I just pulled my roast out before we went live. I will get it started while we're live, but I probably won't do the whole dinner on the live this time. But I can. Let's see if I can spin this around a bit into my kitchen. See if I can get the camera kind of down here. And then I'll bring this over and show you what I got. So that's my standing rib roast. And the light is absolutely terrible for this. And what I did was I pre-seasoned everything after I cut up the steaks last night and got those vac packed and put into the freezer. I didn't actually put them in the freezer. I'll tell you what I did there. And then I seasoned up the standing rib roast with kosher salt, coarse ground black pepper, and then the oregano that's on the outside of it this year is oregano that I grew and dried myself. So we'll see how that works out. And that's all I put on my standing rib roast. And I seasoned it all up, put it in the refrigerator, and just let it sit in the refrigerator all night long. You don't want to cook that cut of meat cold. Molly, watch out, huh? So what I did was pulled it out, and I'll let it set for like maybe 2 hours or so on the counter, and then I'll fire up the stove and let it go. I'll cook it at like 200 degrees until I reach an internal temperature of, let's say, 115, and then pull it out, crank the oven back up, and then get a nice crust on it at the very end. We'll see. You guys will see the video when I do it. Eric Schwepker, smoked brisket, smoked mashed potatoes, yummy, apple pie, corn, green bean casserole, and of course, apple pie moonshine. Very nice. That sounds yummy, man. Smoked mashed potatoes. I've never tried that. That sounds freaking delicious. Dear Dan, how are you and Merry Christmas? Glad to see you. Glad you could join us today. Rob says that they are currently sitting at 4 degrees Fahrenheit north of Talkeetna, Alaska. Are you guys expecting snow too? I'm just curious. I know that we're expecting, anywhere from like 4 to 7 inches, they're saying now. It looks like it's quite a bit of moisture with this, and I'm pretty excited because I'm tired of looking at the ice on the ground. Brian Barnes, Merry Christmas to you, my friend, from Waterloo, Ontario. It is awesome to have you here today. Howie, Merry Christmas, brother. Glad you could make it today. Sadly, with the wood cook stove, it's hard to do those low temps, then go to high. It is. It's very, very tough to go low temps to high temps in a wood cook stove. And I mean, I'll be honest with you. So for years, all I've really ever done with mine is I've pulled it out early in the morning on Christmas Day, and then I've seasoned the whole thing up, and then let it set on the counter, and then I've just cooked it at one temperature. This is the first year I've played around with doing anything different, and I usually cook it at like 330 degrees Fahrenheit to that internal temperature of say 100 115, because when you're doing a big roast, and usually I'll do a really big roast, your carryover heat, the heat that is still going to keep penetrating into that piece of meat, will take it way over the top from where it should be. So you want to get it out of there as soon as possible. And it's turned out absolutely perfect every year. So this year I'm gambling. We'll see how it comes out. Oh, you're getting a dusting tomorrow? Nice, nice, nice. Hey, you want to join me? You know what? I do this. Let me see if I can do this real quick here. I do this on Christmas. Let me look at the big screen. Let's go invite a guest. Let's copy that. And then Rob or anybody else who wants to come up and say Merry Christmas. This is the only time of the year I'll do this. You are more than welcome to click on that link and join me. But remember that this is a nice, clean family channel. So we're going to keep it nice and clean and family focused. But yeah, anybody that wants to come up, just by all means, knock on the door. Let's do this thing and have some fun. Long's Quest, Merry Christmas. Glad you could make it today. Hope your Christmas was fantastic. Eric says, smoke the potatoes whole for 5 hours and then mash them. Smoke temperature at 205. That is awesome. What wood did you smoke it with? I'm really curious what flavor you had with them. I like smoked meats. I've never done anything other than smoked cheese and smoked meats, like beef and fish and that and pork. But I've never done a veggie smoke. That sounds yummy. Awesome, Rob. Thank you. That'd be super cool. Sunshine, Merry Christmas. We're supposed to get 1 to 3 inches tomorrow. You might want to check that. I think you're supposed to get a little bit more than that because that's the way the storm seems to be tracking now. I think you might actually be getting more snow than I get. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Either way, God, snow is so much better than cold. JD, Merry Christmas, brother. It is awesome. Awesome to see you. Tell Rhonda, thank her very much for the Christmas card. I greatly appreciate it. You guys are just super cool. Super cool. Hickory. Hickory is the wood of choice for most of my smoking endeavors. So every once in a while, I'll smoke a ribeye. I won't really smoke it. I'll add a packet of hickory chips and throw it in there while I'm grilling that ribeye, and that hickory smoke comes rolling off, and it just adds a layer of sweetness that's incredible. I love hickory. I like cherry for fowl, for like turkey and chicken, and applewood also for turkey, and then I like alder for fish. Just yum, yum, yum. Hickory wood with pecan shells. Very nice. Do you say pecan or pecan? Pecan or pecan? I hope we get more. My poor perennials are going to pay for this weird weather. It's been a strange winter. I mean, everywhere. I have a friend that lives back east, and she's like, dude, this is crazy. We had snow, and now all of a sudden we're back up to 60 degrees again. I don't know. I think it was, I don't know if it was a famous American, Will Rogers, I think, that said, everybody wants to complain about the weather and nobody will do anything about it. Watchman, Merry Christmas. 76 degrees in Texas today. Well, that's a cool down. You almost have to wear a parka. Texas weather can be crazy. So that's one of the things about Texas and Alaska that are so common that are so contiguous, I guess, the same, is they're so big that in one part you could have an entirely different type of weather than you do in the other part. And then unexpected weather happens all the time. It's because it's just such a massive, massive state. John, Merry Christmas. Happy Christmas to you, Sean. Hope you're keeping well. Happy Christmas to all from Dino. Okay, Dino, Merry Christmas to you as well. It is awesome to see you, my friend. Yuck. 1.5 inches of ice starting tonight, and then 3 to 5 inches Saturday here in Pennsylvania. Ice is just treacherous. It's treacherous. Mike McKinley, Merry Christmas, brother. Glad you can make it today. Sean, we had a great Christmas this year. No snow in Ontario, Canada. Oh, right on, man. Very cool. Eric's got 63 degrees there today. I'll tell you what, if it was 50 degrees right now, we'd be doing this live outside. I'd be sitting on the deck. And that's the other thing that's crazy about the cold that I don't think people really realize about Alaska. So you hear all these stories about how brutally cold it is. And right now, I mean, honestly, Glen Allen, Tok, all the way up through the corridor into Fairbanks and Northway, all this corridor running up pretty much along the Canadian border. We're talking 55 to 63 degrees below zero. That's absolutely brutal. And that's cold by anybody's standards. I don't care who you are. But we were at 20, Monday, we were at 24 below zero here at the cabin. And um, it was just absolutely, absolutely cold. So I turned around on Tuesday and I get home and I'm like, man, this is just comfortable. This is like crazy comfortable. I get home, I got a light coat on. I'm out in the yard with Molly. She's playing. I'm grabbing firewood, filling up the stoke of the wood stove in the cabin just to bring it up and turn the heaters off. And, I worked on Monday. And I get back inside and Todd sends me a message with a picture. And Todd's my neighbor that lives right across the street. Sends me a picture with a message of what the temperature is right then. And it was like 12 below zero right then. And it actually felt comfortable after the 24 below. So that just those huge temperature swings of even 10 to 15 degrees mitigate the whole cold. It's absolutely crazy. Sten, Merry Christmas, my friend. Glad you can make it today. Awesome to have you here. Merry Christmas. Urban Carlson, potato gratin, meatball, ham, boiled egg, salmon, and drink Christmas must. Nice. Very good. That sounds yummy. Traditional Christmas dinners all over are different. And it's crazy, how different they are. So, like, I don't know. Growing up as a kid, it seemed like the UK was goose. In the United States, it could be standing rib roast, ham, turkey, or a combination of any of those three or all three. And then in other countries like Sweden here, just a completely different kind of meal. That is very cool. Wisconsin FIB, how are you doing today? Merry Christmas to you. Eric's in Southeast Missouri. Nice, nice. Art, Merry Christmas, brother. How are you doing today? From Alabama, we're in the 70s and had a Christmas dinner outside on the deck. Rub it in, Art. Rub it in. Warren, going in hot. How you doing, my friend? Merry Christmas, Sean. My son gave you a flamethrower for Christmas. Going to use it to melt the snow instead of shovel, and it should be fun. Very cool. Very cool, man. Only in Alaska, right? This is Sunshine's other half going in hot, Warren. And I heard about your truck, dude. It was a sad thing. It wouldn't start. It froze up completely. I have had to. That's the other thing when we get to really, really cold temperatures. In Alaska, we all have block heaters. Basically, where you plug your vehicle in overnight, and it's a circulating pump, and it keeps your engine from freezing. It keeps everything from getting too cold. Now, there's other stuff that we have. We have a higher antifreeze content in our radiators than the lower 48 and stuff like that. But I live off grid. And for me to plug that in, it would just drain the heck out of my battery. It would be crazy how fast my batteries would be drained. So instead, what I do is just before I go to bed, I start my truck. I have remote start, the little button that starts my truck up. So I do a remote start and start my truck up. And then in the morning, before I go to work, I do right when I get up, I hit the remote start. It runs the engine for about 15 minutes. And then the engine stops, and then I do the remote start again. And by that time, I'm ready to walk out and get my truck and go to work. And the reason why I do that is because if I don't, one, it's pretty rough on the vehicle to be driving it down the road when it's that cold. And two, it's pretty rough on Sean to climb into a vehicle that's that cold. So that's one of the trials and tribulation I have to do. But if I forget to start my vehicle like I did last night, and it's super cold, I could be in trouble. The battery just won't have enough cranking amps to fire that thing up. And then I got to fire the generator up, plug the truck into it, let the generator run for an hour or two to warm up that engine. And then usually I have to jump the truck to get it started. So yeah, I didn't have to do that this morning, though. I was pretty lucky. I pushed the button, truck started right up. I was pretty happy. There is a lot of that, Eric. There is a lot of land in Alaska. Just be careful. I'll tell you the same thing I tell everybody, especially during these lives, is if the description of the land said great moose habitat, you probably want to skip that over. And the reason for that is because moose like marshes. And so great moose habitat means that land's got a lot of wet, marshy land on it. The other thing is that you'll want to see that in that land before you buy it. You'll want to see it in the spring, or have somebody go by and see it for you in the spring to see how well it sheds the water when everything starts to thaw out, and then you'll want to see it again in the summer to see where the dry spots are, see if there's any real heavy wet spots on there. So for potatoes for dinner tonight, I was going to use my own, and then decided at the last minute I'm not going to use my own because I want to do something different. I'll grab them and I'll show you what I got. Got these. These are mini medley potatoes. So there's red potatoes, there's white potatoes, and there's purple potatoes in here. And I could do like, I don't know, maybe a third of the bag. And this is, it was a bit pricey. It was crazy actually. What's the weight on this? 24 ounces. So I probably paid $5 something for it, which is ridiculous prices for potatoes. But this will be a yummy little thing. And I could just do up like I said, maybe a third of the bag, which would be like 8 ounces. And have a nice little gourmet potatoes with dinner. I love the purple potatoes. Hey, watch out. Pull it down. You grab paper towel again out of there, huh? Oh. Close that down. Yeah, it's just up here, it's just common sense because the land is so different. You know, the seasons are so extreme here that, like right now, there's nothing but ice outside of my property. And when that melts, what happens is the ground underneath it's still frozen. So the water's got nowhere to go. And it permeates across the top. And then that's when you find out, how well your ground will drain and how squishy it's going to be. And that's the best example I can give you, how much mud you're going to have to deal with. And then when summer comes, or late breakup, as we call it up here, when late breakup comes and the ground opens up, then how fast does it drain in and how quick does everything dry out? And again, it's the mud factor, because you can only do so much for so long on your property up here every year before you're dealing with one of the seasons. Then you got, the summer where everything should dry out nice. And then the fall where, everything will start freezing up. And then you'll want to also know kind of what the soil strata is, to know whether or not you're going to have to deal with bad frost heaves. Because I have some areas like the stairs on both ends of my deck where I poured a small concrete pad, dug it out, poured a small concrete pad, and then mounted my stairs to it. And every year I fight when the ground freezes, water expands and my stairs go up like this, which is not a big deal because I'm going to replace the whole deck anyway. I've decided I want something a little bit bigger to move around on out there. So I'm just going to end up doing a freestanding deck that I'll right now it sits on the 3 main beams underneath the cabin. So it's not that big of a deal for me. But yeah, frost heaves are a big issue up here, depending on where you buy your land. Drainage is a big issue up here, depending on where you buy your land. So yeah, definitely use your thinking cap when you're looking up here. I did the video on the dead battery on the truck. John Feeney, Merry Christmas, my friend. I hope you are doing fantastic today. I hope your Christmas is wonderful. Molly, get out of the kitchen. You don't belong in there. Get out of the kitchen. Get out of the kitchen. Deanna, Dino, how's all the family, Sean? Hope all is well. How's the pup doing? The pup's doing good. Obviously, she's driving me nuts. The family's doing fantastic. I haven't talked to the kids yet. I'll probably talk to them later on this afternoon. But I did video chat with my youngest daughter last night. The oldest daughter's got 3 boys, so she's running around in circles, I'm sure, this morning. David, Merry Christmas, my friend. How are you doing today? John? They make Chinese diesel heaters for warming your truck up that tie into your cooling system. I've seen those. But if I just pay attention, I don't need all the extra gizmos and gadgets. I really don't. I got the one diesel heater here, and I'll tell you that it has been absolutely incredible for taking the chill off the cabin in the morning. I don't run it 24/7. I don't run it while I'm at work yet. I'm thinking I might start running that on low while I'm at work. But I'll probably play with it this weekend. And see how it does all day long on the lowest setting. But I'll probably still have to run the buddy heater to keep it warm in here. That's some other stuff that'll be not probably in this week's video, but it might be in next week's video. It's either this week or next week. What kind of temperatures I come home to inside the cabin when we get that cold. Because even with the heater running, that buddy heater running on medium, It's not very warm in here. It's pretty darn chilly. And my procedures I go through every day when I come home from work. And Merry Christmas to you as well. She does. She keeps me on my toes. She's a good pup, man. She's a great pup. Probably the greatest thing I've done since building this cabin was getting that pup. Sean, I forgot what your sweet doggy's name. What breed is she? Her name is Molly, and she's half Rottweiler. Her dad was a purebred Rottweiler, and her mom was a purebred Australian Shepherd. So she's half Rottie and half Australian Shepherd. So not only is she stubborn, but she's smart. So yeah, I get all the fun. Let's pull Rob up in here. What's happening, brother? Merry Christmas.
Sorry about that. I was trying to mute the other screen so it wouldn't get the echo. Merry Christmas, Sean.
Merry Christmas to you and Sarah, man. So what else? So you're going to do the goose for dinner tonight. What else you got going on?
Not a lot. we'll do a live sometime today, as we usually do one on the holiday, just like you do. As you know, well, you've been on our live before with us, with Alone and Adam and Phyllis.
Yep, I'll be there. I'll be there again today too, man. The minute I see you going live, I'll jump on as well.
We're not sure what time it is. We're gonna eat around 3 our time, and then just kind of have a lazy rest of the day and do the live at that time. So probably gonna be around 3:30 or so.
Nice, perfect.
We're getting my assistant decided to show up.
Oh. You're a helper.
It's funny. I put the Santa hat on, and she didn't want anything to do with me when I had the Santa hat on until I touched the socks and had their treats in it.
Yeah, that's what I forgot to put on. There we go.
Right.
I'm just today. This is the most relaxing Christmas I've had in a long time, man. Because I am just totally unorganized and have nothing going on properly at all today.
Right. It's kind of how we are right now. It's just we didn't do much for Christmas. We got other things going on. We got to work on. So it's like we'll just do a light one this year, and that's what we did, and we're enjoying it.
Nice. How's the batteries working out for you in the new cabin in the little cabin?
The Varders, they're working out really good. They sent me. I don't know if you saw the video. They sent me a 70 amp charger as well as a 20 volt 12 volt inverter for it, and I haven't had heat on over there in 3 days, and the batteries are heating themselves. They're barely using any power. And you were just talking about the diesel heater. I'm in the middle of testing one of the H calories right now for them.
Yeah, I had H Calorie just reached out to me, and I was thinking about doing it, but I'm like, man, I just did one. I don't know that I want to do a back-to-back review of diesel heaters, but the H Calories are nice.
They are. Which one did you get? Or
which one? I got the Bouge RV one is the one that I did.
That's right. You got the Bouge.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah. I have two of the H Calories, and the larger two. The larger is a 2-box too. I think it's got a 2-gallon tank on it, and it literally goes for like 50 hours between fill-ups.
See, that's something that I'd be really interested in, is a longer run time.
Yeah. So I enjoy them.
Nice. How do you like the Vader inverter?
Not an issue with it at all.
Nice.
It doesn't use a lot of all inverters have a what do you call it? A phantom draw. What they draw themselves, and it's actually pretty low.
Nice. Yeah, they do. It's like a standby. Even if they're not drawing power, there's still power in the inverter itself. Yeah.
There's always a phantom draw. It's like having a TV plugged in. That TV is going to draw a little bit of wattage. It might only be 3 watts, but over 10 hours, it's 30 watts, and it all works out. It takes out, but it's why when we first moved into this house, I found a lot of draws. I'm like, why is that going on? Why is that going on? Then I realized, I need to start unplugging things.
For me, I've got like everything plugged into surge protectors, like here, right? So the TV and all that stuff. So if you turn, like you said, even if you turn the TV off, if I look at the inverter, it's got a readout on the side of it that tells me what it's drawn, and it shows you're still drawing power. But if I turn the surge protector off, now it draws no power at all, which is super nice.
Exactly. And that's what you got to pay attention to. A lot of people think off grid is, you have less, and sometimes you actually have a little bit more to make sure you can control what you need and don't need.
That was a learning curve for me too. Was it was like, okay, what is still going to be going when I'm not home? So then I still have to turn everything off that I'll turn the TV on to watch a movie or to edit video or something like that.
Yep.
And then when I'm done, I have to unplug all of that so it doesn't continually draw and you don't walk home to a surprise battery.
Exactly. It's like when we go to town, Sarah tell you, I'm a ball of nerves because I'm worried about what's still on, what did I forget to turn off, how long is the battery going to last, and stuff like that.
Right. And, oh no, I left this on. Arsice of Alaska, welcome. Merry Christmas to you. Interior Alaska, shout out where you're from in Interior and let me know what the temperature is there right now because you guys have had some brutal temperatures. My God.
Yes, they have. They're actually good friends of Sarah and I, and we were talking to them last night. It was cold where they were at.
It is, yeah. Most people I don't think realize that the extremes that we have in the state, especially when cold weather hits. I think like Fairbanks was stuck at 40 below zero for like a week or two without any change in sight until they had a storm come through and give them snow.
Yes. And we all need snow right now because just 2 inches on the ground is not enough.
No, it's absolutely crazy. Marcus, Merry Christmas, brother. Glad you can make it today.
Mm-hmm.
Some folks saying hi to Rob. Sandollar J saying hi to you and Sarah.
Hey, Sandollar and John.
John saying hi to Rob. Merry Christmas. It's Carly. Merry Christmas to you. Glad you can make it. So I know your background, and for those that don't know, Rob's been a boat guy for most of his life. So he's dealt with creating his own power and maintaining his own power in boats and stuff like that. But going from that to an actual household like you guys have now, what was some of the biggest challenges you think you had? The learning curve for you?
Buying exactly everything I needed and a little more while I was in town because we're so remote. We have, have to wait on the train. The winter, our first winter here was really hard, where I had to run into town every month at the first Thursday train, and I'm stuck in town for 2 nights and 3 days. And that was an expensive year for us because every time we go in town, it was $100 a night for a hotel or an Airbnb, plus whatever I was getting and fuel. I mean, a simple 3-day trip turned out to be, $1,500, $2,000 every month.
That's absolutely crazy. For me, it was
getting everything I needed at once.
Yeah, for me, even though I live close to town and I can drive to town every single day, for me, it was the amount of propane to heat. At the time when I was in the trailer, I had no concept of, and I didn't have, I had solar, I was playing around with it, but I had no heat in the trailer other than the buddy heaters. And there was a couple of times where I ran out of propane and I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta get up and go to town and take care. There was a couple of times I thought I have made the biggest mistake of my entire life doing this.
No, we use propane, but mostly our propane is used for hot water.
Right.
And for cooking in the summertime, you've seen the antique stove that Ward picked up for us down there.
Right. Yeah.
And now we're actually, when we move back into the other cabin because of the damage to the house from the earthquake, we're actually, I picked out a new stove. I'm buying a Wolf commercial.
Nice. Are you getting the flat grill and everything?
No.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just gonna get a nice 6-burner, 36-inch wide 6-burner. I do a lot of cooking. You know how I am. We've talked about this before. I just like cooking. And the little 1924 quick meal that we have that Ward picked up for us down there in Kenai, the oven is like the cabin oven. It doesn't want to regulate very well. So I'm just going to go with a new stove and I'll repair those ones there. And the antique one we'll put into another cabin once we get another cabin built, for guests.
Nice. Yeah. And that's the other thing too, is that, you could spend a lot of money on some of these off-grid appliances and just get absolutely ridiculous on pricing, or you could go like the route you're going to go with a commercial range that, has a pilot light and everything else. I don't know if you're going to get, if yours has the electronic or the pilot light on it.
Yeah. I like bare bones. When I was a chef, that's what I used, was just turn the valve and go. And that's it. The only downfall is it is a much higher BTU top than what you would have at home. So therefore we will probably use about, depending on who's cooking, which is usually me, I know how to regulate it. Where Sarah, if she's got it wide open, we're going to blow through a lot of propane. It's a 3/4-inch line. And the BTU rating, unlike on your stove you've got behind you, is probably about 12 to 14,000.
Right.
Per burner.
Yep.
The Wolf one I'm getting is 30,000 BTU per burner.
Yeah. It's right now. It's, you're in a kitchen. You don't have time to wait for that pan to heat up.
And what's funny is the commercial, I can get the commercial stove cheaper than I can get the household stoves.
Yeah, that's where I was going with that. Is you could go the route of buying the super expensive off-grid appliance and pay
Yep.
$2,000, $3,000 for the thing, or you could go the route I went, which is I just bought a battery ignition stove. That
Yep.
my biggest problem is maintaining the higher temperatures. Is when you want to crank them up to 450 to 500 degrees, it takes a long time to get there, and the recovery is not as quick as you would want it to be.
Exactly.
Or you could go your route and get a commercial one, which means you're going to burn more propane, but in the long run, you'll be able to do everything you want to do.
Yeah, that propane wolf that I'm looking at, the commercial one, is only $1,900 versus the 5-burner that I was going to buy at Alan Pedersen. That was $5,000, and that's just a home grade.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I'm like, nah.
Our slice of Alaska homestead, we've been at 40 below zero for the past 3 weeks. Warmed up yesterday to 11 below, but it's going to drop down very cold again. I saw that. I watch the Alaska National Weather Service on YouTube every night before I go to bed, and they're like apologizing every night. Sorry, guys, you're going to be cold again. And then, hey, guess what? You're going to warm up for 2 days, and then the cold's going to come back again. Al, welcome, brother. Merry Christmas to you. Glad you can make it today. It is awesome to see you, my friend. Very cool. Very cool. Anyway, so what else is up? What do you got planned for 2026?
Well, as some of our subscribers know, and you probably know, we're going to be moving back into the original cabin due to the damage to the house from the earthquake and on Thanksgiving. So we're mostly going to be focused on getting that to where we want. I'm going to redo the kitchen completely, redo the bathroom before we move in. And after that, it's just we're just going to figure I'm going to try to get a bunch of people I know together and just have a deconstruction party over the summertime and take this house down quickly.
Nice. Very cool. Well, let me know the time frame, and if I can, I'd love to come up and give you guys a hand.
Oh, that'd be nice. That'd be fun. Yeah, we've been down your neck of the woods.
No, I got to get up to your place, man. I got to spend more time getting out and meeting people and enjoying Alaska than I've done the last couple of years.
Yeah, we should be down there again this summer for dip netting.
Oh, very cool.
So
very cool.
Sure that we get together. I got to get a hold of Bill too to see how he's doing. I haven't seen him since he came up here a couple of years ago when he moved.
Right. Yeah, he just sent me a message today, Merry Christmas, and then a couple of links, and he hasn't told me what he's cooking yet, but I'm sure he's going to cook something that's ridiculously awesome.
He likes smoking a lot of meat. Oh, and you were talking about smoking earlier. Tried smoking hard-boiled eggs.
I heard that is unbelievably good.
Oh my!
And what wood do you use for it?
It depends on your taste.
Yeah.
I use on that one. I think I use a little bit of apple because that's what I had on hand.
Nice. I'll have to give it a shot.
Yeah, now we've got apple, hickory, and cherry.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Mountain Dweller says, Merry Christmas, Sean and Rob from Dry Flagstaff, Arizona. Merry Christmas to you, Mountain Dweller.
Merry Christmas.
I'm going to let you kind of look at the camera and say hi to a couple of people while I throw some more wood in the wood stove here because it feels like it's cooling down a bit.
Not a problem. Hey, everybody. Hey, Brook Truck. Good to see you. Let me see here. And greetings. Oh, how's Venice there, Brook Truck? I haven't talked to John yet today. I got to call him here in a little bit, see how it's going down there in Port Charlotte. I've seen somebody else's. No, don't think I missed anybody. So, what are you all doing for Christmas? Do you have any different types of traditions that you do? We're still trying to figure out a good tradition up here aside from doing the lives on Christmas.
My chair just broke.
You what?
My chair just broke.
Oh no!
I got it.
Beanie?
I picked this thing up for like $5. The arm thing did. I picked it up for like $5 at Salvation Army, and I've had it for probably 6 years now, or actually since I moved into the cabin, and it's been on the edge of breaking ever since.
It's funny how that is.
Yeah.
Make it last as long as you can.
Exactly. Brook Trout, Merry Christmas. Glad you can make it today. Awesome to see you from beautiful Southwest Florida. I have not. Rob knows her better than I do. So, Rob, have you heard from Alone? What's she up to? I haven't seen anything from her in a while.
We talked to her, I think it was about 2 to 3 weeks ago. She's been really, really busy. And she said she will be posting, updating everybody, letting everybody know what's going on.
Good.
So, and that's all I know. And she's been a little...
So the dogs are talking now. Molly, hush. Hush.
And now the show's gone to the dogs.
Yeah, the show's going to the dogs. We'll take a peek and make sure I don't have a moose outside.
But no, she Mishka, come here, honey. Come here. It's just Sean's dog on TV. And it's behind me. All right. You always got to get your 2 cents in when we're doing the lives, don't you?
Yeah. Come here, Molly. Come on. Come on up and say hi.
Look.
Come on up and meet the neighbors.
Say hi to Molly. No. I don't want kisses. I don't want kisses. Okay. Yeah, she heard Molly, and all of a sudden she started going.
That's nothing. Last week, I don't know if you were here or not last week when I was live, but my neighbor Todd, his dogs, all of a sudden Molly started going nuts, and I looked out, and here comes his dogs running up my driveway.
Oh, no.
He said Todd was watching the live at his place, and he goes, the dog kept looking around because he kept hearing my voice. And the minute Todd opened the door, the dog just took off and ran over to my house.
Oh, that's funny. Hey, Larry.
John Feeney says, hello, Rob. And Brooke Trout rubs it in saying it's a beautiful 75. We're going to see Anaconda later.
Oh, that's that new movie. That's right.
Yep.
And just so you know, Sean, Brook Trout is actually not far from where Sarah and I used to live. And when I had my tea herb spice company, it was not far from where he lives now.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Larry Willis says, Merry Christmas, Sean and Rob from Dandridge, Tennessee. Awesome to see you. Mountain Dweller with a thumbs up, and Big Al, the man on the street, gives 50 Alaska members. Sean and Alaska memberships. Greatly appreciated, Al. Greatly appreciated, man.
Yeah.
So memberships here at Sean in Alaska, I've got all kinds of ideas for what would be a great membership. Unfortunately, the only one I seem to follow through on is when I'm done editing a video and I upload it, members get to see it right away.
That's
so. Yeah, I did all these tiers, and I had one tier with, I'll send you a Christmas card every year and blah, 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 blah. And I reached out to the 3 or 4 folks that were on that tier, and I said, give me your address. I want to send you a Christmas card. And they were like, no, don't worry about it, man. So.
And see, we love to be sending cards up, but it's so hard for us to get anything in town because by the time we get into town again, they're gone. And
right.
When we come in and stay home for the winter, they're all gone.
They're not even out yet sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love getting Christmas cards, but I'm terrible about sending them. Like my kids, even when I was married, like my ex-wife would be like, do you want me to just stop buying you cards? I'm like, yeah, they're not a thing to me. If you write it out and draw me a picture and send it to me, I'll keep it until the day I die. But,
right.
If it's just a store-bought, right, it doesn't really, I love the sentiment, but I'm like, you could have saved your money. You could have bought a cup of coffee for yourself or me on that, instead.
Yeah.
And that, yeah, but I love getting the cards from viewers because it's super cool seeing where everybody's viewing from. And again, it's like the trees, right? The card is like your personality. And it's
yes.
I don't know. I enjoy that more than anything.
Yes, definitely.
The right times. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas, Sean and Rob, from Steve and Denise in Newcastle upon Tyne in UK. Very cool. Very cool.
Very nice.
See, going live early, and this is the other thing I toyed with, and you are in the same boat as I am, right? So we have viewers that are all over.
Yeah.
So when we go live at, like me, generally on Sundays at 3:00 in the afternoon, if those viewers are going to want to watch that live, they're going to be up at 1:00, 2:00, 3:00 in the morning to watch the live. So I toyed with going live at 6:00 in the morning and then going live again when I first started going live a while back. And it just, for whatever reason, it just didn't work out because I wake up every morning at 4:00, whether I work or not. That's, I go to bed. Yeah. In Alaska, that's the other thing that a lot of folks probably don't realize is, so this time of year, when we have early sunsets and it gets dark early and everything else, it's all I could do to stay awake till 8. I'm like, boom, shut down, go to bed, go to sleep. So I'm going to get up early every single morning. During the summer, it's the exact opposite, right? So during the summer, our days are so long that I have to remind myself to go to bed.
Yes, I'm the same way too. And I've still got the farm mentality in my head where I'm up at anywhere from 4:30 to 5:30 in the morning. I'm up for the day.
Yeah. No naps. I got too much to do.
Pretty much.
Nice. I like seeing that. The Norwegian 9. Thanks for the gifted membership. That is super
Oh,
cool. To me, that is. I probably like seeing that, more than anything is when folks get gifted a membership, because it's just a neat thing. It's for them. It's not for me. It's a super cool thing. Marcus got one too. Very nice. I love it. I love it.
nice.
I don't know how those work, to be honest with you. I've been in channels that I'm not a member of, and I'll use as an example Jay and Jen off grid, and I'll
Yep.
be in their channel and somebody will gift a bunch of memberships, and I'm like, well, how do you get one when they gift it to you? I have no idea how that works.
It's actually, it does it. YouTube does it randomly.
Okay.
It just goes through its little algorithm on your subs and just says pop, pop, pop. Here's 10 of them. Here's 50 of them. Whatever is donated. I had the same question because people getting mad because they weren't getting them. Like, I have no control.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
it's
like,
just
I don't know if you can actually gift out up to 10 a month yourself on your channel.
okay. I didn't know that.
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna have to touch bases. You've picked up more on this stuff than I do. I'm just, I'm pretty basic. I make videos. I go live. I have fun. No, I haven't got into all the algorithm stuff at all.
Yeah. No, we'll talk sometime soon. But at
Very
that,
cool.
Sean, I'm gonna drop down, let you enjoy the rest of your live, and I've got to do a few more things around the house before we go live later this afternoon. It was
Awesome.
good
I'll
seeing
join you on your live later
you.
on. Folks, if you don't follow Rob and Sarah, you need to follow Rob and Sarah at Come On Jen. Super nice people, great content on his channel. He's always doing something different and something new. I got to go back and watch your video on your smoker with your smoke generator, because I'm kind of looking down that path. That looked pretty freaking cool.
Yeah,
but yeah, he's always got great content.
Yeah, the cold smoke generators are good, and the big one that I built at the same time, the large one, I'm going to turn that into a hot smoker.
Nice, very cool. Rob, Merry Christmas to you and Sarah. Thanks for joining me today.
Ron, Merry Christmas, chat.
Oh, very cool. Very, very cool. See, I love that stuff, man. The people I've met through YouTube is just phenomenal. Just phenomenal. Midnight Rider, Merry Christmas. Glad you could make it today. Click the button, didn't I? Oh, there we go. Yeah, we do have a white Christmas, but it's ice right now. And we have snow in the forecast finally for the first time. Oh, God, in probably a month. It's just been cold lately. So we had a good shot of snow at the beginning of the season, probably 6 to 8 inches maybe in the yard. But it was what I call Tahoe snow. It was real wet, fluffy stuff. And then we got freezing rain. Everything turned to ice, and we haven't really got much since then. But we've got it in the forecast for tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to that. Ooh, what do we got here? Fitzy, I don't know if I said it yet, but Merry Christmas. Glad you could make it today. Awesome to see you. Midnight Rider, Merry Christmas. This is nice. This is low key. Normally I have this whole extensive stuff going on when I'm live, and just hanging out's a totally different experience. I enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot. What else could I tell you? My plans for next year, they keep changing. I got to get off the property more and do some more stuff in Alaska. I want to get back out with the camera and get creative again. Do some more photography, do some more outdoor video filming. Just explore more, share more of Alaska with people. But at the same time, I want to move the chicken coop and chicken run, and I want to build a bigger chicken run. I'm planning on building a small greenhouse / high tunnel. If you've been watching the channel for any amount of time at all, when I cleared the pad for where I built the shed, I went ahead and had it cleared up on the top where I've always wanted to put a greenhouse since I got the property. So I want to do that, and I want to add a bedroom to the cabin. So a bunch of different things going on at once. I don't know how much I'm going to get accomplished, but yeah, that's I got a list. I always have a list, but I have to remember that you don't have to get the list done. I shoot myself in the foot too many times because I get busy doing projects and then I don't finish them, or I finish them to a certain point and I stop and move on to the next one when I should have just finished what I was working on. And then I have to struggle to get it completed because I didn't get it all completed at once. But again, this is a whole new lifestyle for me. I grew up in beautiful sunny California with all the gizmos and gadgets. And, now I'm, living in an off-grid cabin in Alaska that I built by myself, and well, with the help of some friends too. When I'd never done that at all. So yeah, it's I don't know. It gets challenging sometimes. 65 degrees in Virginia. Nice, nice. The right times. What's the plan for the RV, Sean? I'm probably going to donate it. We've got some different groups up here and some different veteran groups. So I might just go ahead and donate it because it still runs. I mean, it still works. So I'm going to see if I can't do that. I'm going to see if I can't donate it, but it'll be off the property for sure this next year. I have plans for that area over there, and I'm never going to use it. I got the RV to move up here in and to live in, and then to take my kids camping in the Sierras, before we moved up. But when I got it from my dad, and the plan always was to move to Alaska and live in it while I built the property here. And then it was just too small, so I ended up buying a fifth wheel and doing that. And the house I had it stored at, the owners passed away. The kids were going to sell it, and I was friends with the kids too, so it was not a big deal. But I needed to move it, and luckily I had the fifth wheel. I'd already given that to somebody who was doing the same thing. They were going to live in it while they built their place. And so I moved the RV onto here last year, and I really want to get that moved off the property. I just want stuff on here that actually works, that I'm actually going to use. Rob says, I agree. Over 4 years of being here, we've been down to your area to fish and North Pole to pick up wood. That's it. I do too. I want to get out there and enjoy more of Alaska. And I'm getting closer to retirement. I mean, I could pull the trigger at any time. But because I don't have a property payment. My property tax will go away in another year and a half, but it'll go away. Technically, it'll be gone completely this year coming up. Because we have, I've already filed for the first exemption, which according to what the borough, which is our version of a county up here, has, is already higher than the value of the estimated value of the property, because they're way behind on that, thank God. So I could pull the retirement trigger at any time, but I spend too much money doing too many projects, and YouTube hasn't paid for that yet. It helps, it really does, but it just makes life a whole lot easier to have the time to get out and do what you want to do. I don't really believe there's such a thing as a moose-proof chicken run, but I'll go with higher fences, and I'll go with an electrical line across the top, definitely. And I that should in itself make things a lot easier to keep Mama Moose out of the Matilda the Moose out of the chicken run. She has not been back. I've seen her around the area, on and off for the last couple of weeks, but I really haven't seen her on the property at all since I moved the feed into the run, or into the coop itself. But I want to build a bigger coop that I can actually walk into and then get more chickens. And then one that I could possibly go ahead and heat. I'll probably steal a page for Eric and Ariel and try and heat it with a diesel heater. I think that would go a long way to have an egg production throughout the whole year. So I don't have any egg production at all for those chickens. I'm basically just feeding them. They're living here for free. Put her in the pot. I don't know if you really realize how much meat there is on one of those monsters. And I live by myself. So basically I would need one a year. And that's all I'd be eating every single meal for the rest of the year. I got to leave room for salmon, right? Nice. Did my wood stove take off a little bit? It's starting to. Down to about 65 in the cabin right now, which is not bad, but I'm getting really spoiled by the inside of the cabin being, once I get the wood stove cranked up, it'll be 70 to 72 degrees in here. It's absolutely perfect. That's way too much wood stove for this cabin. But I love it. Oh, what can I do here? I guess I could do a little bit of meal prep. Probably do some of that. The pup's asleep again. I don't have the Christmas tree going. I just kind of turn this over here while I go back and stoke up the fire a little more. How's that sound? Get back there. Angie, Merry Christmas to you. Awesome, awesome, awesome to see you. I hope you and Beamer had a great Christmas. All right. Oh. For those that don't know, I did break down and buy some firewood. And I did that because I knew there was no way I was going to make it through the winter with what I had. And I could, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to just do propane heat the whole year. Just this. There, the back. The propane heat just way too much moisture inside the cabin. So what I've gotten into the practice of doing every single day is I come home from work, I fire up the wood stove right away. And then as soon as the temperature starts to climb in the cabin, just a couple of degrees, I turn the other heater off. And I turn the propane heater off, and then I just run the wood stove for the rest of the night until I go to bed. Well, I get up at 2:30 in the morning to go to work, start work at 4. I'm off work at noon, so I'm usually home by 1-ish, 1 in the afternoon. So for that period of time, from 1 o'clock in the afternoon that I get home until 7 o'clock in the evening when I generally go to bed, I'm just heating 100% with firewood. And while it has cost me a lot more wood to burn in the stove, the warmth is so much better, and it's so beautiful just because that wood stove's got the glass doors on it. And I need to clean them. I usually clean them once a week. I didn't clean them for like the last 2 weeks. But I've gotten to the point with that stove where I can actually understand how it works, generally speaking. So I'll have that thing up to like 400, 450 degrees on the outside of that. And the heat is nice and dry. And I mean, like the humidity in the cabin right now. So upstairs is, and I'm looking at my temperature gauge that I leave sitting on the desk here. Upstairs is 65 degrees and 21% humidity. And downstairs is 65 degrees, almost 66 degrees, and 10% humidity. So it's so much drier and so much nicer. Then when I get to the point at the end of the evening where I know I'm going to go to bed, I have to play that fine game of, do I add a piece of wood or not? And generally I'll add, a piece of wood at a certain time. And then when I get ready to go to bed, I turn the buddy heater back on and then go upstairs and go to bed. And then the stove burns out because it won't burn all night long. But if I'm not careful, the next thing I know, it'll be 80 something degrees upstairs. Then I got to open the window to cool myself down. And then when the cold air hits my face, I fall asleep and I forget to close the window. And it's 15 below zero outside. Nah, it's crazy. Great. It's silly. But then the routine in the morning is, since I've gotten the diesel heater, before I go to bed, I plug the diesel heater in. So now instead of using just the battery on the diesel heater, I'm actually plugging it in to my inverter because it draws like 10 amps when it fires up, and then it draws almost nothing while it's running. And I have it on its absolute lowest setting. So I'll wake up at like, say, 1 or 1:30 in the morning because I'm an old guy, and I'll just leave it at that. And when I wake up, I use my phone and turn the app on, and then I fire up the diesel heater and I go back to sleep on the lowest setting. So when I wake up in the morning, it's absolutely comfortable. It's absolutely comfortable in this cabin. And Garvey, Merry Christmas to you from Ontario, Canada. There's a lot of people from Ontario in the house today. That is awesome. Hope your Christmas was wonderful. Beamer had an awesome Christmas video to come on her page. Very cool. Very cool. Beto, my friend, Merry Christmas. It is awesome to see you today. Hope your Christmas was wonderful. The right times. How long could you keep using your own trees for firewood before you end up having to buy it? Obviously, you need wood for building as well. Okay, so back to that subject. There's so many. We have a spruce bark beetle that's just devastated the wood here in Alaska, the trees in Alaska. And I have so many dead trees on this property that I'm going to make a serious effort next year of cutting down what I need and having it, and maybe 1.5 to 2 years worth on hand at all times. I probably, with the amount of wood on this property, I'm looking at an easy 5 to 10 years on my property. The bad part is that I'm going to lose probably 90% or more of my trees. I already know that. So this cord that I bought was absolutely gorgeous. Standing dead, beetle kill tree. And I paid $250. So it was $200 for the cord, or $225 for the cord and $25 to deliver it because I live way out here. but it was absolutely, literally, I don't even need kindling to start that fire. I take 2 pieces of wood and I put them in my wood stove like this, but exactly like actually like this. And then usually I have like a paper bag from the grocery store. I wrap up a couple of paper towels because they ignite quicker. A couple of paper towels in that grocery bag and roll it up, stick it between those 2 logs and lay 1 piece on top, and that ignites that wood stove every time, first time. It's absolutely crazy. So yeah, I could burn wood for I could harvest my own wood and plan on harvesting my own wood here on the property for easy 5-10 years worth of firewood here, easy. Um, but it's nice every once in a while to buy it too, because I don't have big trees, and these are some pretty big chunks of wood compared to what I would have on my property. Michael says travel day is done. You made it. Merry Christmas, my friend. I hope your day was fantastic. $7 J. I work retail too, Sean. Happy the season's winding down, right? Except now we go into, we have one little blip for New Year's. I work retail grocery, so I have one little blip coming up for New Year's, and then it's a lot of cleaning for the next 3 months. John says, have you thought about getting some soapstone or sandstone or limestone and putting it by the wood burner to absorb and release heat? So that stone, and it's actually a tile. It's not manufactured stone. It's actual stone that's glued together in pieces. Just out of curiosity, and I need to get a temp gun. I really do, because I could use it here. I had one before, but I need to get one, because I put my hand on that and I could not believe how warm that stone was. But if you've watched my channel for a while, and Sean never finishes anything he starts, because I don't know, I'm an idiot. That's how I am. I insulated the whole bottom of this, and then I didn't put anything up really to hold that insulation in place like I should have. And then we had a couple of windstorms come through, and I haven't hid the fact that I lost some insulation underneath there. And then I started to run I bought some chicken wire, we'll call it, but it's like 1/4 inch square. I forget the name. It's a mesh wire. I bought some rolls of that, and I was stapling it up. Well, I got that all done on this side pretty much, but I didn't get it done on the other side. I'm missing a lot of insulation in the floor. So that is actually probably going to be one of the winter projects I'm going to work on, is getting that finished so that I can maintain and hold the heat in here, because, once that fire goes down, it cools down in here pretty quick. I'm not going to lie. And so I need to get that insulation finished up. I need to get that front door. There's some areas around windows and doors that I did not foam properly, that I need to get in there and foam, so that I can build up an air dam, because right now I can feel, like, if you go over to that front door and you can kind of see the gap there at the top. If you put your hand up there, you can feel the cold. And that front door it's a beautiful door, and I'm glad I got it. It's going to go in the shop. It's a metal door, so it just transfers that cold temperature right through that door all day long. So I'll get a wooden core door that'll have a better R factor, that'll hold the heat much better. So yeah, part of it, a lot of it's me, but I would love to have a soapstone stove. They're beautiful. Can you get a permit to fell your trees on Crown land? So, Mikey, welcome and Merry Christmas to you. First of all, thank you. So in Alaska, we don't have Crown land like they do in Canada. What we have in Alaska is we have state forest and national forest, and we have refuge. And so there's, like, the refuge is an area where you have to get permits for a lot of stuff that you're going to do out there. It's a natural tundra area that they keep wild for the animals, that kind of stuff. But you can get a permit from the refuge to go out and fall dead and standing trees. You can get a permit from the Forest Service to go out and in national forest, and you can cut firewood there. And you can get permits in the state, and you can go out and cut firewood there. But honestly speaking, if I go on Facebook Marketplace, there's always people who say, hey, I just cut down 30 trees on my property. Message me, first person gets it all for free. Because that bark beetle infestation in Alaska has been so brutal that there's so many dead trees up here that people can't get rid of them fast enough. So, I have the option to do all three, not on the Crown land part, but on the refuge, the national forest, and the state forest here. But in reality, I could just cut trees all day long on private property around my neighborhood alone that people would be more than happy just to have removed, so I can get it all for free, which is super cool. Yep, Sean says something about doing the outside siding a few Christmases ago. I have a reason why that's not done. I'm gonna make the actual excuse for myself now. Once I realized what I wanted to do outside the cabin, I also realized I wanted a bedroom on the cabin, and I'm not doing that project halfway. I'm doing that all at once. So the bedroom needs to be built first, then I'll put the outside siding on. But this winter, for sure, at least that wall is going to be done. And I have a plan for that too. So yeah, I have a wish list. I have a lot of things I'd like to do, and I'm really bad about that. One of my favorite quotes that I ever saw was, and I used to share quotes at the beginning of all my videos, and I might go back to some of the videos. I might go back and do that every once in a while because I like them. They were inspirational, not only I think for everybody who watched the video, but for me personally to take the time to look up an inspirational, positive quote. But the one that sticks with me from day one, man, is, and I tell people this all the time. You could either think of in terms of one day I'm going to do that, or you can think in terms of this is day one I'm doing that. So one day or day one. And I firmly believe that is the absolute description of my life. I said one day for many, many years of my life. And then I hit day one. And I figure, even though I've been on this property now for, man, it must be almost 5 years since I started working on this property. It really has, I think, been 5 years since I started working on this property. I'm on basically day 5. Alaska Freedom, another great channel. How are you guys doing? Merry Christmas to you as well. Jay and Elaine, awesome to see you. Loved your video with the lights. I need to do something with my truck because your Jeep just brightened up. It looked like daylight when you turned those lights on, man. That was super, super cool. If you guys want to come up, if you have the capability and a camera and you want to come up and say hi and Merry Christmas to folks, let me know, and I will definitely share the link out again. Everybody saying hi. Yeah, that's, and it's, I've had firewood heat for probably the last 30 years of my life. In one form or another, either as a main focus of heat or as, a backup heat source. And so I'm really used to cutting firewood, and I've split firewood by hand for years, but I think this year I'm going to break down and buy a splitter because it just hurts way too much for the next couple of days after I'm done. I mean, I'll still split some big pieces. I've got splitting mauls, splitting axes. I've got all kinds of stuff like that. But, I'll be 64 years old next May. And my muscles just can't take that anymore. But there are times when I will definitely do all my own harvesting. And there's times when I'll just, I got a couple extra bucks. I'm just going to go ahead and buy a cord and use that. And the quality of the wood that I'm buying right now is so awesome. It'll burn right now. I mean, the moisture content is so low. It's absolutely crazy. That it's nice to have some of that to go with what I'm going to get off of my own property. I'm currently taking wagers on that wall. Getting done. The line is minus 200. Yes. 190. No. I'm not taking that bet. I'm not taking that bet. Before I do it, though, I will tell you, before I finish any of these walls in here, I have decided that I do need some other outlets here in the cabin. So I'm going to put an outlet probably on this wall right here where I have my monitor, my desk, and all that stuff. I'm going to put an outlet underneath that window over there. And I'm probably going to put an outlet over on that wall in the corner too, even though I'm planning on putting a closet on that corner over there. And then I probably will have an outlet like close to where the pantry is over here on that wall, probably close to where that other wall comes. I don't know if I can spin this camera around so you can see that. Yeah, there we go. So see where that kind of cross tape is there? Where we go? Yeah, that cross tape is there on the top. There'll be an outlet down towards the bottom there. I'm not doing these outlets because I'm planning on running a whole bunch more electrical stuff in here, but it's a lot more convenient to have a plug to plug into. I have one outlet in my kitchen, and that's it. And well, it was convenient where I put it on that wall over there. It would have been nice to have one over on this side too. Now that I think about it, I still don't have a ton of electric appliances, so I don't need a million of them. But I want to get the outlets that have the two 110 receptacles, and then they have the USB ports plugged in too, because my kids come up and they're always wanting to plug something in to charge their phones up. And right now, if you do that on the batteries in my inverter, I only have one outlet that you can do that on. So that way anybody could just they could sit down and plug a USB thing in and top it off easy, super easy. I love that smart Alec. They were, Renee. They were super cool. I like that. I actually had somebody ask me about the original music that I used to play and the quotes. And I love that. I still love that song. It's called Almost Mended, and it's actually a YouTube free song I got off of YouTube. And then the quotes were they were super cool. I think they have their place. Probably one of the things that has kind of amazed me the most is how I started with YouTube making videos and kind of where I'm at today. Because in the beginning, man, I would include stuff that would just put me to sleep, just so I would have content. And now, man, I cut so much out of the stuff that I film. It's absolutely crazy, absolutely nuts. Okay, back to your wood burner. Let's call it a battery for storing the heat from. There's a dude from UK who uses a. We get down here. There we go. Back to Mikey. Sander on his wood burner to store the heat, like batteries. There's been a few people that I've seen that have some very cool things that they have done with their stoves to make them more heat efficient and to store heat. And you're exactly right. A wood stove made out of cast iron is basically a heat sink. It's a giant heater. And so the fire burns, it heats the cast iron. The cast iron transfers that heat out. So think of it like a giant battery. You're 100% right. I need to go down that path a little deeper and learn more about it because there's some neat stuff that I would like to I'd like to play around with. When I first got this started, the building of the cabin and everything, and I was looking at different ways that I wanted to heat, a thermal mass heater, a rocket heater, was one thing that I looked at, where they have those big, with cob, and they build the big couches and everything else. But the weight requirement that I would have needed for the cabin, because I'm elevated off the ground, would have been more than I think I was comfortable trying to do. But I still think that was a great idea because it's the same theory, right? So you've got a small fire burning, the gases from that heat travel through everything, heat everything up, and that keeps everything else warm in the cabin. So there's some incredible things you can do. And I'm still looking at all. I'm still learning so much. It's absolutely, I was born in San Francisco, raised in the North Bay of California, where, the only time we ever used our fireplace when I was a kid originally was to, like, Christmas Day, to burn all the wrapping. That's the only time we ever used it. Then as I got older, I moved to the Sierras, where heating with wood was a much different thing. And there's a learning curve, man. There's just so I'm very inquisitive. I really want to learn. I think I'll be a learner for the rest of my life. And there's so much I want to learn, but there's only so much time in a day that I can do it. But yeah, I agree. There's a million things you can do. Get back up here. How many ideas do you get from people like the Wild Homestead and Witness Goodness? In the beginning, I got a lot of ideas from. So when I built the outhouse, that was Dave Whipple from Bush Radical. That was his design. The only thing that was different was he dug a hole and put his on top of the hole, and I did mine with a bucket in there because I wasn't going to dig the hole. And I didn't dig the hole because there's trees and roots, and that was another fiasco. We'll go down that road another day. But in the beginning, I got a lot of ideas from what I did on YouTube, or what I did here on the property from YouTubers. The kind of greenhouse that I'm planning to build up on that spot is a twist on what Eric and Ariel did when they built their first hoop house at their place. And I thought about doing that, but I don't want to go to all the expense of buying all the metal, because metal's not cheap. Metal's expensive. And I want something I can do by myself. So it's a combination of what they did there and what I saw another guy do building cabins, where his entire cabin is built from gables. Um, so I want to build an entire greenhouse from gables, and see if that will work. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. But I think it will. I think I've got a pretty good idea of how to make it work. So a lot in the beginning, but more and more on my own now. But I'm not going to say that, when I watch Graham do something on Woodness Goodness, um, I'm learning every time I'm watching. The channels that I watch on YouTube, I watch not only because they entertain me, but because I learn something every time I watch them. So, I learn stuff from them. But it's funny because, like in Alaska, when it's salmon season, we're all doing salmon videos. When it's garden season, we're all doing garden videos. Because that's what our window's so small, that's what we have to do up here. When it's winter, we're all doing inside or outside in the beauty of Alaska in winter. I just mentioned to somebody the other day, I said she'd posted something on Facebook about, Fairbanks and the temperature and how cold it was, but how beautiful it is when it's dark and cold. And I said, it's the most brutal winter in civilized America. And it's also the most beautiful. So, yeah, I mean, I learn a lot. That was a long way to say I used to get a lot of ideas from them. Now, when I watch their videos, my own ideas tweak based on how they did it. I say, hey, that worked. I want to try that way. That looks a lot easier than what I had planned. Or, hey, that didn't work, and that's what I'm thinking. So I need to find another way. I absolutely love Witness Goodness. Graham is just an incredible, fun guy to watch. He's so upbeat and so positive. I love his channel. Aaron Rice, Merry Christmas to you. Glad you can make it. I hear Jay from Jay and Jen is really good at trim work when you get to the trim on that wall. For those that don't know, that is like Jay's curse. I'm going to go work outside in the 40 below zero snow and 5 feet of snow because I don't want to do trim work. He doesn't want to do trim work, and he won't shovel snow. I don't mind doing trim work, but first I have to do the basic work, and then I could do the trim work. And my problem is just getting started, because I'll get on another project that'll just suck me in. I still don't have my trim work done completely in the kitchen. But again, to be fair to me, that's because I still plan on doing something on that back wall, and I haven't done it yet. So the kitchen's not done. If it's not done, I don't need to do the trim work, right? We've been burning standing dead spruce since we got here. It's a good size. I bring it back from it. And if I had a mill, man, I would love to do some mill work. I just can't. I can't really justify a mill for myself. I keep trying to talk Todd into, hey, dude, let's go in on a mill, because he's like me. We would start milling stuff all over the place, and we would both use the wood. But I can't justify doing it by myself. Molly, no barking. Big Cleverman, Merry Christmas to you. He got one of the free memberships from Al, Man on the Street. Super awesome. Hush. Hey. No barking. Calm that down. There's nobody out there. There's no moose, no nothing. Don't bark. Do I want to build a garage for the car? No. I'm going to be 100% honest here. I've lived in houses that had garages, and never once did I ever put a car in the garage. And the reason for that is because, well, that's a nice premium space. I could build a nice little shop in there. The last 2-car garage that I had in the last house that I lived in California, and that was a 5-bedroom house. So the garage was on the lower floor, and then it had the main floor with a kitchen, a bedroom above the garage, the living room, a bathroom, and 2 bedrooms. And then up top, it had 2 more bedrooms. So when I moved into that house, I turned the garage into a brewery. Had a wood stove in the corner, brewed beer in there. That's a premium space. I can't see parking a car in there. I can't see doing that. It would be nice to be able to climb into a warm vehicle, but I have remote start for that. And if I build a building, I'm not using it to store a vehicle. My alarm's going off. So that means it's 11:55. Because I have my alarm set for when I wake up in the morning, when I go to lunch at work, And at 11:55 tells me I got 5 minutes left till I'm off work. Because I have like temperature logs and stuff I've got to do. Curmudgeon Rob says kitchen's the most used room in our house, so outlet needs outlets. Yeah, it is. It's for me. It's well, I mean, you know my floor plan. I have the kitchen, but then I have the wide area here, so it's kind of a toss up where the what the most used room in the cabin is right now. It's probably the kitchen, but it's a close second. You know, the living room's kind of a close second because I do a lot of stuff out here too. Carol, Merry Christmas to you, or Carrie L. It's either Carrie L or Carol. Merry Christmas to you from Ontario, Canada. Merry Christmas to you from Funny River, Alaska. Rob says thermal mass restored heat's good. Can use so many different things to do it. I know it's super intriguing to me. It's very intriguing to me. Says when I build a greenhouse, I'll be putting a rocket mass heater in it to help grow sooner and longer. And that's kind of what I was thinking too, is that it would be nice to, if I'm going to do it, it'd be really easy to do it in a greenhouse because I could build it on the ground. It would be super nice to do it in that. $10 J. Alaska Freedom. I'll take a 10 spot on that bet. For rocket mass issues with weight, look into the bell system. A lot less weight. Nice. Very cool. I'll look into that as well. $10 J is thanking Al for the membership. Man on the street. Very nice. Beto Mansk. Beto, Merry Christmas. Feliz Navidad, my friend. Sean, Alaska, how's the temperature where you are? Here it's close to 30 degrees Celsius and it's raining to alleviate the intense heat a bit. Yeah, but man, that's humidity too. At 30 C with rain, God, it's got to be sticky. It's got to be, yeah, sometimes uncomfortable. It's not bad today. I'll look again right now because our temperature is going up. Right now, I've got 7 below zero. We're going to top out today at like 1 above, but it's just going to get warmer from there. Over the next couple of days, I'm liking that. All the way through Tuesday, it looks like we're going to stay above zero, which is super nice. So yeah, it's not bad. Not bad at all today. Projects are never done. Another always pops up. That is true. That is absolutely true. Minnesota Meg off grid. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas, Sean, and all my adult kids open their gifts. Now it's me, the tree, and you guys. Nice. Watching as the thick fog comes in. Yeah, I'll video chat with my daughters a little bit later. The right times. I'm off now. Great speaking to you, Sean. Nice to catch you for once. Have a good rest of your Christmas. Merry Christmas to all your viewers as well. Take care. You have a wonderful Christmas as well. I'm glad you got to hang out with me for a little bit. And like I said, folks, this is completely optional. No one's expected to hang out all day. If you've got family and friends, go be with them. Do what you got to do. If you want to pop in and say hi, I greatly appreciate it. I just like hanging out with you on Christmas. You'll go third on the mill, seeing how you're going to need lumber. And Ward building the cabin. Ward told me I'm building the cabin too. Just so you know, Renee. He goes, hey, yeah, so we're building Renee's cabin next year. He was out here looking at property. And he goes, yeah, we're going to build Renee's cabin. I go, what do you mean we, white man? What the heck are you talking about? Ryan Tinder, Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas, Sean, from Fresno, California. Hopefully moving there sometime next year. Done with California. I moved, Ryan, from Sonora, California. Well, just in the mountains above Sonora, kind of. I know where Fresno's at very well. I've been to Fresno very many times. Gigi Bean, Merry Christmas from Tonusket, Washington. Awesome to have you. Merry Christmas. Super, super cool. All right, maybe I'll play around in the kitchen. Maybe you guys will join me in the kitchen for a little bit. I don't know how well this is going to work. We'll see. I actually thought about moving the whole laptop over to the kitchen. Boy's working in there. See that? That's wiring. That's wiring. That's Romex for the power on this wall. I have a plan. I don't know how well I could do this. I could. See, I probably should have thought about all this before I got too carried away. Let's move my keyboard over here. Slide the pad out there. I think one of the very first lives I did in the cabin was actually from the kitchen, and I had the laptop set up here on the little table I used to have before I had any counters or anything in here. Huh, man. Huh. Did you go puppy? Did you go puppy? Well, yes, I can, but I have to gauge this. I need to get this out and this out. These out. So when you're going to cook a piece of meat like this rib roast, you don't want to overcook it. I mean, maybe you do. Maybe you like it that way. I don't. I like mine medium rare. And I always cook any big roast like this. I always cook medium rare. Rare to medium rare. I mean, in the center, if you got a big roast, the center will be rare automatically. But I do that. You know what? I can grab some white. I got some white to brighten this up. This. I got this battery operated tripod light, especially with the sun making its way through the window. That should brighten that up greatly. Oh yeah, much nicer. So the reason why I always cook anything like a roast, something that's going to be that big, on the rare to medium rare side, is because if you like yours medium, medium well, or well done, here's what I'm going to do, right? And most people that when they say they like their meat well done, they don't actually mean well done. They actually mean they don't want to see the pink. I'm going to have a big pot going on the stove full of au jus, right? God bless you. And every cut of prime rib that comes out of that roast is going to go into the pot before it goes onto the plate so that you get that au jus all over the outside of the roast. If you want yours done more, I'll just take your piece of prime rib and I'll drop it in the au jus. And I'll just let it finish in the au jus. So it'll cook up in there. It'll stay nice and moist still, and it won't be chewy shoe leather. Like, honestly, I believe real well done is a cut of meat that's cooked dry. So I'll get rid of the pink on it, yet you'll still have a good piece of meat. So that's one of the ways that I cook it. I have to keep bouncing over here to see what we got going on. You know what? I'll do it this way. I'll move my mouse over to here because I have a wireless mouse, and then I will do it this way. I really can't do it that way. Let's get back over to here. Juju Bean says we're working on a prime rib and a butcher block countertop and a sink and a kitchen sink. Yeah, that's what we're doing. The prime rib's actually done. For those that just joined me, I dry brined it with kosher salt, coarse ground black pepper, and oregano that I grew last year and dried myself. So we'll see how that works out. That's all I put on my prime rib. And I dry brined it last night. I put it in the refrigerator. What that does is it allows that salt on the outside to penetrate that meat. And then it's been sitting on the counter now since we went live, or just before we went live. So an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. I don't want to put this in the oven cold, but we are getting to the point where I can start thinking about turning this oven on. So I'm gonna move this one all the way up. And then I'm gonna put this one right in the middle with my temperature gauge. And we'll fire the stove up. So this is a battery ignition stove, which means it requires no electricity. It just uses a 9-volt battery to ignite it. Hear that click? And then I can hear the oven actually start up. So I'm going to turn that down. My temperature gauge here starts at like just one notch before 300. So I want to do this low and slow. I'll let this heat up and I'll see where that's at. And I might need to turn it down a little bit, one way or the other. We'll see. And then I'll get this in. I've got a meat thermometer, temperature probe, and this is wireless. And this is kind of cool because it actually has a clip that'll go in your pocket if you want. And I can set the temperature on there, and then the alarm will go off for me. My problem is, though, that I let this get too hot and I melted the back of it. So I have to take the batteries out every time I'm done with it. But that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. Scroll back up here again. That's a bit much. That light's a bit much in my face. Always. I'm going to make Ward do most of the work, though, because I still have a full-time job. Well, that reminds me, we were cooking homemade apple pie today. Going to try the cheese with it. Nice. The sharp cheddar on apple pie. Yum, yum, yum. We bought half a cow. We're all carnivored up. I bought, like I said, that was a 16-pounder, and then I did, let's see if you can see in my freezer. Yeah, you can. Like all kinds of, this is all steak. This is all fresh salmon that I froze up myself on the bottom. I got a couple extra ham hocks up there because I always do ham hock and beans for New Year's Day. I love to have, so I won't probably do it this year on New Year's Day because that would be on Friday, and I got to work. So Saturday morning, I'll do up a batch of ham hock and beans on Saturday, and then I'll be eating that for days. I love it. Where else was I going with that? I was going somewhere and I forgot. Anyway, but I bought the roast. I cut the roast out of, or I bought the whole thing. It was 16 pounds, not that long. And then cut that roast out of the middle and then made steaks out of everything else. You can drill a hole from under your cabin, then put a cable up in the wall for an outlet if you need to. Yes, you can. And my only problem with that is I just am scared to death that I'm going to spill something on the floor and it's going to go right in the outlet. But that is like in a lot of log cabins, that's how they'll put outlets in the log cabins. And I could actually bring that wiring up from underneath and mount it on the wall, but then I got to look at that. It'd be, for me, it'll be just easy enough to do what I'm planning on doing, and that's I'll just run the Romex through the walls. But that's not a bad idea for the kitchen. So I might actually run the wire underneath, bring it up here by the window, and then I can have another outlet on that side. I could still do it if I want to. It'll just look tacky. But a lot of what I do look tacky. Suzanne, Merry Christmas. Glad you could make it. I hope your Christmas was fantastic. I'm glad you made it too, Michael. Have yourself a great day. I got to run for now. Have a Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Appreciate it as usual. Merry Christmas to you as well. So potatoes, what do you think, huh? What do you think we're going to do here with these? I have a couple of different ways I could do this. These are beautiful too. Let's see if I can spin this around a bit. Show you the basics. If you can see those. Right, now I'll turn the light here again. I think my battery's dying. Trying to do this so you can see them. So I got some purples, some whites, and some reds. Yeah, I'm gonna have to plug that light in. Thing's almost dead. I'm gonna do these. I'm gonna roast these. I'll cut them in half, and then I'll slide a pan in the oven at some point and let them roast in there while the roast is going. So it'll steal some of the heat. Probably, I want it to be pretty. Do like 3 red, 3 purple, and 3 white. That's perfect right there. Hey, get out of the kitchen. Dog. Go. So all I'm going to do with these is I'm just going to cut them in half. I'm going to be eating prime rib for 4 or 5 days, I think. This is a big piece of meat here. These purple ones are beautiful. I don't know if you can, I get it up there so you can see it. Look at that purple. Is that cool or what? Al's reading my mind here. Have them, add a sliced onion and some oil, good to go. That's my thought. A little bit of olive oil, some garlic too, though, Al. I got to have garlic with my potatoes. I got some herbs too. I might throw some herbs in there. We'll get these cut up. And the reds are just red flesh. White potatoes. I actually think I have a clove of garlic floating around here too. Oh, look at that, I do. I got me some garlic. Probably do 2 cloves of garlic in there. Garlic as opposed to jarlic. Jarlic is garlic in the jar. And I'm not going to waste my time peeling them, so we'll smash them. Then we'll get the peel right off. So there's some garlic. Big cloves. See some monsters. Hey, get out of there. One of the reasons why I went with a butcher block counter in the kitchen is so that I can do this. I can just cut and prep everything right on the countertop. Let's do a rough chop on these so we get some roasted garlic flavor in there too. We got garlic. That is done, and then I'll need to season it up, right? So let's do a little olive oil first. And I'm not cooking it in this, by the way, just so you know. And then probably a little kosher salt. And then maybe a little bit of coarse ground black pepper. Hey, get out of the kitchen. Get out of the kitchen. Puppies don't need to be in the kitchen. And I got some herbs and spices. Got some thyme. Got some rosemary. So a little rosemary in there. But before I do that, I'll break it up pretty good. For those who might have joined while I'm in the kitchen, I'm cooking prime rib for dinner tonight. We're just hanging out, chatting, having a little conversation. And I'm just kind of prepping my food here. I don't know if I said it or not, but I also got Brussels sprouts. And I'll saute those up in cast iron on top of the stove with olive oil. Nothing else. Okay, so those are done. I might put these, well, I might put them in a foil pouch and just let them roast in the oven in a foil pouch. That sounds pretty awesome. That sounds like a good idea. Out of paper towels. We'll walk back over and see what anybody's got to say here. Oh, Molly. Merry Christmas to you, our American Adventure Alaska. Hope your Christmas was fantastic. I love a baker smothered in butter too. Man, my lighting is absolutely terrible here. Let me plug this in to charge it. And then I'll spin the camera and we'll sit down and chat for a bit more. There. I'll tell you, one of the things that is super cool is how many new items they have available that are um, battery built with their own battery, so that you can recharge them. Last night I had the first eggnog of the season. I don't know if I mentioned that. I bought a quart of eggnog, added a little Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey to it. It was absolutely delicious. I'll get caught up on some comments here. I'll be eating prime for 4 or 5 days. Best quote ever. My plan is tonight it's prime rib. Tomorrow night it's probably prime rib. I might do a blackening seasoning and blacken the prime rib in the cast iron skillet. I love blackened prime rib is phenomenal. And then it'll be French dips. It might be prime rib and eggs. Yum, yum. Exactly, right? Exactly. He's saying hi. Do you have Netflix, Sean? Vikings are on Netflix today. Well, Vikings are on my phone. I'll just say that they're not on Netflix. I'll just say that I've seen every Vikings game this season, because one of the things I figured out before I moved to Alaska was how to watch TV on my phone and what I needed to do. And I've been fighting this one for, oh man, I tell you, I fought it like towards the end of last season and the beginning of this season until I found a place where I could watch it, and I don't pay anything. It's free. Yeah, it's you know me. If you want to know what, just send me a message and I'll tell you. I'll tell you how to watch it. But I cast, so I watch everything on my phone. But I cast it from my phone to my television, to my flat screen. So as long as my phone's got a full charge, I can watch hours and hours if I wanted to. And then the TV doesn't take that much power. So yeah. Sean, the next time you do a roasted potatoes, core a hole in and insert a whole clove of garlic and then roast it. That would be, yeah, I'm with you there. That's yummy. That's yummy. But that would be a bigger potato than these. These are small, man. These are not much bigger than my thumb. Sunshine says, I made spiral ham, Warren's request, with roasted sweet potatoes. I love sweet potatoes. And Brussels sprouts for dinner last night. The next several meals will have them nice. And then you can do a nice soup when you're done, too. Oh, yeah. Scott, pleasure meeting you. Awesome to have you. Matt A.K., brother, how you doing, my friend? Merry Christmas to you. Awesome to have you here today. Never a fan of Brussels till cooked with pineapple chunks. Now a favorite. A lot of people like cooking them with onions and bacon too, but I absolutely love the taste of Brussels sprouts. I like cabbage too, and to me they just taste like small cabbage. More intense flavor, but I absolutely love that too. Sean, sails the high seas for sports media. I approve. I do, my friend. I do. I definitely do. I'm not paying for every service in the world. When I grew up, we had football on all the networks for free. And then they started, and Monday Night Football was on ABC always. And then they started Thursday Night Football, and I would actually have to go find a place that had the channel to be able to watch that game. And at that point, it got very frustrating to me, and I refuse to support greed like that. I'm sorry. And I even got to the point, like I used to listen to baseball on the radio. I prefer baseball on the radio until my oven. What the heck is that? I prefer baseball on the radio until October. There we go. I'll turn it up. I had that down a little bit low. At which point, I don't mind watching the games when we hit the playoffs. But then now you can't even listen to baseball anymore. I don't know. I just think that's un-American. I'm sorry. I just think it is. I get that they're a business, but I just think that's un-American. Definitely, my friend. I'll give it to you. Yeah, he's a Vikings fan as well. I'll definitely give it to you. I'll share it with anybody, but I won't share it over the internet because then it becomes a target, and I don't want that to happen. IPTV for the win. I haven't used IPTV, but yeah, that'll work too. Oh, Scott, I did not click our American Adventure Alaska. It did not click until now. Scott, how you doing, brother? How warm are you down there? How cold are you? I am now at still 7 below zero. Winter weather advisory from 9 a.m. Alaska Standard Time Saturday to 12 p.m. Alaska Standard Time Sunday. It's coming, folks. It's coming. -6 now. I'll pull up the alert. I'll read you my weather alert. It's not much. Affected area, Western Kenai Peninsula from Nikiski to Anchor Point. Winter weather advisory in effect from 9 a.m. Friday to noon on Saturday. Snow and blowing snow expected. Total snow accumulations between 2 and 5 inches. Wind gusting as high as 40 miles an hour. Low visibilities along roadways as light snow will be easily lofted by the movement of the vehicles. Where? Western Kenai Peninsula from Nikiski to Anchor Point. When? From 9 a.m. Friday to noon Saturday. Alaska Standard Time. Visibilities will be reduced by half mile or less due to blowing snow and drifting snow. Travel could be very difficult. The hazardous conditions could impact holiday travel. Be careful. Slow down. I had to use my radio voice there for a minute. My chance of snow here on Friday is 78% now. And these temperatures just keep going up. I'm not upset. I'm not bothered by it at all. Right? See, I don't feel bad. Jason didn't know it was you either. And again, YouTube creators, if you've got the capability right now and you feel like it, let me know. I'll share a link to join the live chat here and you can pop on up and we can chat for a bit. Share a little bit about yourself, share about your channel, and we'll get you, we'll try and figure a way to get a channel link for you so that anybody who's interested from here can jump on over and meet you over there. Matt says it's so warm here. It's like 60. We got rain, but no snow. That's a weird winter. That is. I kind of, in one way, would love rain here just to melt the ice. But then that would be a whole other nightmare. And then I'll be happy if we just get the snow. Right, here we go. John, Brussels sprouts back wrapped in bacon with brown sugar and butter and maple syrup. That's, yeah, there's a place for that. But it's going to be bright, shiny green on my plate tonight, which will be yummy. Just subbed. I never knew. See how that works? Yeah, that was your neck of the woods there. You're getting snow, finally. You and Elaine could finally use the wood stove for what it was intended, to keep you warm in the snow. Right? Yeah, I want to warm up. So for those that don't know, when we're not getting snow in Alaska, generally it's because we are too cold for the air to hold moisture. And when it's clear and cool, when it's clear and in Alaska, it's cold in Alaska in winter. And it just gets so brutally cold that the air won't hold any moisture at all. You'd be walking along and everything you touch, you zap because of static electricity. So when we hear snow after being this brutally cold, we know the temperatures are going up. You need the cold. I know. I love the cold on my face. I swear I sleep with the window open every night, even just cracked open, so that cold air hits my, the window. My bed's right up against the window upstairs, so that cold air hits my face. I sleep so good. It's just awesome. We are predicted 1 to 3 inches tomorrow, then a chance to snow each day after that. Sure. I've been hurt before. Yeah, I need to. So I picked up a diesel heater and Jace found a great thermostat for his diesel heater that he said was working fantastic, and I need to order one because mine has the same remote. So from what I understand, it's just got to be one of those remotes for it to work. And I really am looking at getting one of those because that would be an awesome thing to have. 80 and sunny in Texas. Man, my stove does not like being at that low of a temperature. It was below. I'm gonna have to cook this roast at 300 instead of 200 because my stove just doesn't like cooking at that low of a temperature. At Curmudgeon, yes, but I just got a better CDH with one built in. A video will be out in a few weeks using it back to back up heat the cabin. Nice, nice. Same here, still in the midst of testing it now. I have to look at that one that they asked if I was interested in doing, which I think is the one you're doing, Rob. Is yours in the toolbox? Because a thermostat is my biggest issue. You know, I want something that will heat, but I want something that will not just constantly run. I want something that when it gets to a temperature, it'll stop, and then when it drops down, it'll heat. So that's why I like the thermostat that Jason did on his, because it had that 15-degree variance. So like you set it for 65, it gets to 65, it cuts off, and then it won't come back on again until it drops below 50, but it'll keep going in that range so that it's not running 24/7. I like that idea. We're going to start building a utility shed shortly, like Sean in Alaska and Alaska Freedom. Nice. I love Jace's design, man. That was a nice. I love his woodshed. It was awesome. Scott comes with you. Scott comes on with you. He needs his Santa suit and all the kids. We get to see Santa. That is true. I saw the picture, Scott. That was super cool, man. The newest one has it so you can take the controller and put it inside with the wire. Oh, nice, nice. The thermostat ruined your glow plug right away. Oh, it did. Okay. But it's mostly your fault. Too much to explain here, but okay. I'm going to watch that video then before I ordered it. Very cool. Very cool. See, I mean, even going live, I learned stuff on YouTube. YouTube to me is, if YouTube existed when I was in high school, which was back in the 80s or back in the 70s, because I graduated in 1980, I would rule the world right now. Just so you know, you're all very lucky YouTube did not exist back then, because I would rule the world. Unfortunately, I probably wouldn't have my 2 daughters either, because I'd have come to Alaska much sooner. Much sooner. I still, to this day, watch on a regular basis Alone in the Wilderness, the story of Dick Prenneke. Just to this day, that man fascinates me. It's just incredible. Most of the ones this brand now sells can be done that way. New one even came with an extension cord for the controller. Nice. Matt's goals for next year are to flatten and gravel the property and build an outhouse and utility shed, probably not as big as Sean's. Yeah, mine's 24 by 10. The bedroom addition is going to be 24 by 12, I think. It's going to be 12 foot wide or 12 foot deep and 24 feet. It's going to go from the front of the cabin to the back of the cabin. That's the plan. Cindy's Journey. Merry Christmas, Cindy. Great to see you. I hope your Christmas was fantastic, and I hope it's still going well. George, Merry Christmas from Sweden. Awesome, awesome to have you here today. George Schluss, if I got that right. Merry Christmas. Trying to find his movies on DVD, as Sarah has not seen them. Oh, yeah, I used another not quite legal way to save his movies. I have all of them. I learned a lot. Let's just say that I have all these binders. Okay, look, I'm going to see if the camera will pick it up. All right, I'll see if first of all, if it'll go that far. See those right there? That is every television series that I have ever enjoyed in my entire life loaded up on those, burnt on DVD. And I will just say that I did that because I figured I wouldn't have TV when I moved to Alaska. I downloaded them all and burnt them onto DVD so that I have them all, including Northern Exposure, one of my favorite ever Alaskan television series. Probably one of the most true Alaska TV series I've ever seen in my life. So yeah, if there's a way to find something on the internet, I will in fact find it. My kids will actually send me messages saying, "Hey, Dad, can you find me this episode of this show?" And I'll find it, and I'll download it, and I'll rip it onto a DVD, and I'll send it to them. Oh. Good Lord, that's a bit addition. Yep, it will be. We'll be putting one on the side of the Cavalier, so but it'll be 15. So the reason why it's going to be that big, and I'll let you guys all know right now, is because my plan is that on the back of that addition, so kind of probably the depth of my kitchen and everything that I have here is where the utility room is going to be. So all the electrical will be moving there. The on-demand water heater will be there. Inside water storage will be there. That will all be there, and then the front part will be the bedroom. The back part will be the utility room, and then the pantry. All the utility stuff that I have in the pantry will all be moving out of there, and it'll all just be pantry. So, yeah, that's kind of my plan. I'm even toying around with the idea of taking the room that I have designated for the future bathroom and making that another small bedroom, and then just building a bathhouse. I'm thinking that could be a way to go for me. You did the same thing, Scott? Yeah, I know. It's just I'm telling you, I mean, I'll pull a binder up right now and just give you an idea of what I have in here. So this one has, let's see here, pull you back a little more. There we go. This one has Stargate, Babylon 5, Doctor Who, Monty Python. I love Monty Python. Then Robin Hood from BBC, Legend of the Seeker. Love that show. Thought that was a ton of fun. The Bionic Woman, Battlestar Galactica, Caprica, which was a spin-off of that. Jeremiah. Love that show. Heroes. Chuck. Love Chuck. Dexter. And then Terra Nova. Forgot I had Terra Nova. I've been watching that on Amazon Prime. And then a bunch of audiobooks. So I have a ton of audiobooks in here too. Stargate Universe, which was my favorite of all the Stargates, is Stargate Universe. Didn't last long. True Blood, Torchwood. So yeah, that's just a quick bit of what I have available to watch at any given time. And then of course I got this all for DVD, and then all the computers stopped including a DVD player. So I had to buy a separate DVD player that plugs in, a DVD drive that plugs into my computer now. Well, they do. PBS has, well, yeah, they should have the Prentice videos because that's where all of them originally aired. Usually, like on their weeks when they were trying to build audiences and they were taking pledge drives and everything else when I was a kid, that's where you could watch it out. I might be close. I have a bunch of movies too, man. I have a ton of movies that are just all still on hard drives. So yeah. I don't do DVDs. I have an expensive digital storage set up with about 10 terabytes of movies and TV shows. That's a lot, dude. That's a lot. I have a friend who's got a server set up. So if I don't have a movie I want to watch, I'll just log into his server and download it and watch it. Oh, you have a server too. See, there we go. Scottflix. Very cool. Very cool. Nancy, Merry Christmas to you from Southern Vermont. I still look forward to your videos. Hugs from Molly. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it. She is, where's she at now? She's asleep on a couch. There's my daughter, Ashley. Here, we'll chat with Ashley. Let's say hi to Ashley. Merry Christmas. Hey.
Merry Christmas.
You're live on YouTube.
Oh, hello. Hi, everybody. I am at 197 feet above sea level.
Okay.
And we are in the middle of a hailstorm. Oh my gosh.
Holy smokes. California's getting hammered. Yeah. California's getting hammered with rain.
I forgot you were going live, but I was like, he's not going to believe it.
That's crazy. She's in Oroville, California.
Yeah, I've lived here 10 years, never once have we had anything even this close to snow.
That's crazy.
Like, it's amazing. Well, Merry Christmas. Rosie, say Merry Christmas to Grandpa. Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas, Rosie. I love you.
Say I love you too, Grandpa. I love you too, Grandpa. All right, well, I'll let you go and get back to your line. Merry Christmas, everyone.
All right.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas, everyone. Little vampire teeth in.
Awesome.
All right, well, I love you. I just had to show you. I'll send you a couple videos later.
Awesome. Merry Christmas, baby. I love you.
Merry Christmas. Bye.
Bye. That's cute. Nice. Nice. Yeah, California's getting some crazy storms going on right now. Right? We have the same series. We have the same. It's just good quality stories, man. Good quality stories. Yeah, she's getting big. Molly's getting very big. Oh, you have the same stuff. Nice. I don't watch a lot of TV, but when I do, I want to be entertained. That's the only reason why I watch it. Is television is to be entertained. Now, YouTube I watch because I want to learn, but television I just want to be entertained. You see my plans in your head, right? All great series you mentioned. Nice, nice. Snooky. True Blood to me was such a fun vampire show. It was such a fun show. I really loved it. Holy smokes. Yeah, you got more than I do. But each one of those DVDs, because I didn't rip them huge, each one of those DVDs has like 4 or 5 episodes on them, which is super cool. Have to run the Sean in Alaska. Need to get things. Oh, you got to run. Get out of here, Rob. All right, get done. Prep for live later. Have an amazing day, everyone. Merry Christmas, Rob. Merry Christmas to you. Scott, is it bad? I'm judging Sean's lighting. Scott teaching us lighting for Elaine's video. Nice. My lighting right now is fine. It's just when I turn the camera, which I'm going to do in a minute here, the lighting's too dark in the kitchen. That is. I need more lights. I need more lights in my cabin. It's just me. I guarantee you that if I had a partner in this right now, she would not tolerate the lighting I have in this cabin. Anyway, that was my daughter Ashley. Let's spin this back and we're going to get that roast set. There we go, right? Yeah, see? It gets dark all of a sudden. All right, I'm off to the kitchen here. So I'm going to get the batteries in here. We'll tell you what we're at to start with on this roast. That, and we'll turn this on. I really need to uncheap myself. That's on. Might do some new batteries. I think we'll do new batteries. Because I did just buy another mega pack. I honestly thought about buying a new digital meat probe temperature thing. Probably should have done that. Oh. Let's do. I think there. Oh, there we go. Probably should have done it before I bought this. Fahrenheit. Get this untangled. Oh, cool. It's working now. My roast is 43 degrees, so it's still pretty chilly. Untangle this whole thing. All right. I'm gonna put that probe in there, and I need something to cook it in. Maybe I'll do it in a. This. Oh yeah, that's the perfect size for that thing right there. All right, roast is 43 degrees Fahrenheit. We'll get that set up over here in the oven. Watch out, Mom. And now we are going. It is cooking. All right, where are we at here? Good thing you're prepping your supper. Remind me to put your ham in the oven. Right? Ward, what's up, brother? Merry Christmas to you and the family. Hope you are doing well. Good time you're setting meal ready. Remind me I need to get a ham in the oven too. First time this year I made a turkey at Thanksgiving and a ham at Christmas. Nice, nice. Scott says turkey's out of the oven and resting on the table. Very cool. Yeah, you're warm. That's crazy. -1°C is like barely freezing. A little jealous the sun comes through your window. We don't even see the sun in December. I kind of laid this out so that I would have the sun. I had a couple of years of living on the property before I had to worry about building, so I kind of knew where the sun came up at. I should have a snack though. I'm hungry. Hang on. Oh, you know what? Here. I had cold pizza left over from last night. We'll do that. All I had to eat today was waffles this morning for breakfast. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What time is it, Molly? It's 1 o'clock. It's too early for you to have dinner. Yep. Uh-oh. My temperature thing quit working. There we go. Back on again. Yeah, I got to buy a new temperature gauge. I'll get one of those wireless sensors that just goes right in the meat. It doesn't have a wire, like I said, or anything. The yes comment I made was to this, Papa Murphy's. We got Papa Murphy's pizza last night. Like I said, if you were late last night for dinner, it was Papa Murphy's pizza. I do that every year on Christmas Eve. It was me, Brother Will, and Todd hanging back out in the house here. Yeah, there's a lot of great channels that I'm friends with, and we pop into each other's lives whenever we can. We get together. These guys, Alaska Freedom, we actually went fishing together a couple of times, and I pretty much just spent the last couple of 4th of Julys, with them. The first one we spent at the beach, grilled up some brats, and then last year my brother was up, so we went over to their house and did chicken wings. Yeah, so We have anybody who we're local with, we just hang out with. It's super cool. Hmm. I have to get one. I definitely have to get one because this just. I mean, this is my kids got me this years ago. It's old. It works. Like I said, I got it too hot. I think I did that on my Weber, and I melted the back. So I can't turn that off. So I have to pull the batteries out every time, and it sometimes it makes a connection, sometimes it doesn't. There you go. Check out the channels that are in here. By all means, definitely check out the channels that are in here because I think I have great friends. I have a great pizza dough recipe, and I have a video of when I was in the trailer. I did a lot more baking in the trailer, and I did that because the trailer was so cold. I was doing whatever I could to run that oven to heat it up. But I did pizza, I did bread, I did all kinds of baking in that trailer. But I made pizza in a cast iron skillet that was absolutely to die for. Turned out fantastic. Nice. I'm going to do this. And let's do this, and let's copy that again. For anybody out there that wants to pop up and say hi, Merry Christmas, or just chat for a while, this is the link. And don't be shy. Just remember, it's a family channel, so we want to keep it nice and clean. Out of my kitchen. Out. Excuse me for eating in front of you, but I'm hungry. I'm starving here. Mm. I'm a West Coast pizza guy. I don't know what it is, but I like my pizza almost like bread. I like a thick, hearty dough to go with the pizza. Jason, I want to put clothes on, but love to see anybody else pop up there. Yeah, you can't be naked on the channel, man. Sorry. Heck yeah, brother, pop on by. Just home all day, hanging out with you guys on YouTube. I'm what? Sean, you are so as I. Oh, thank you, Cindy. Much appreciated. Well, I could show you my Christmas presents. Or one from Todd and one from Will. Ooh. Ooh. What's that? So I got this from Will. I don't know if it's going to be a toolbox or a tackle box yet, but it's super cool. All right, so it flips open. You got it for me because I got screws all over the place. And then it slides back. And it's got containers here and containers here. And the containers actually come out too, if I wanted to take them out. That would be a nice tackle box for salmon. That would be a nice tackle box for salmon. And then I got this from Todd. Nice new open assist Winchester knife. I need a good pocket knife, so that'll be awesome. It's not cold in here. I just want to nurse that fire along so that it stays comfortable. Yeah, I only do that on Christmas Day, Cindy. And usually it's just, most of the only people who really want to jump up are channels because they're set up to be able to do it. Watched at Wild Alaska Life yesterday. I don't know where they are based, but they had minus 40s while trying to dry in. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. That is terrible. They're in the interior, I'm sure. That's brutal. Chris, Merry Christmas, my friend. Glad you can make it today. Enjoy your Christmas, Sean from Ireland. Awesome. I love it. What is it? Nolik Shonagwich, I think. Is Merry Christmas in Irish? Brewberry 1. River into the Broad Golf Course looks almost frozen from your webcam. Crazy. It is. Yeah, the river's almost frozen. It is frozen in town. I saw that. So down at the River Walk, right there in Soldotna, it's just ice all the way over the top. And then I was on Bridge Access the other day, and it was freezing up pretty hard. There's still some open water, still some moving water, but it was freezing up pretty good. It's been cold. It's been crazy cold. Merry Christmas, everyone. Elaine and I are off to spend the day together cooking and eating. Right on, my friend. Merry Christmas to you and Elaine both. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day and a happy new year to you. Nick, the After Empire. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Boo. I love you. That's my oldest daughter. On the live chat. Merry Christmas to you and Nick, and Merry Christmas to the boys, Dash, Declan, and Dalton. Merry Christmas to you guys. I hope you guys had a wonderful day. Hope Santa brought you everything you wanted. Oh, nice. I got it. Novik Shana. Very cool. Brianne, if you haven't done so, check your email. Yeah. I'm going to have to fix my temperature gauge. But if that doesn't work, there we go. If that becomes a problem, I have the emergency Insta-read thermometer I could use when it gets close. I could tell just by looking at it if it's close. Awesome. They say Merry Christmas. Very cool. Oh, you did? Right on. I didn't know. I didn't get a chance to chat with you yet. I just saw your message saying that you pulled like a 24-hour shift yesterday and you were exhausted. So I figured I'd chat with you guys later on this evening. Then I'll find out what the boys got. One of the things that was so nice about moving up to Alaska this time, this is my second time here. When I got divorced back in '98, I moved up here because my head was not in the right spot. And I had the two daughters, and they were little, Brianne and Ashley. And we would chat on Skype because that was the only thing available to be able to actually chat on. And it was not very high quality at all. It was pretty terrible. And one of the cool things about moving up when I did this time was that the internet has become, there's so many different programs you can use for chat, for video chat and stuff like that. And we use Messenger from Facebook. And I can watch what's happening in real time right away with the kids anywhere with my cell phone. It's super awesome. Molly's here on the floor, Brianne. But yeah, I have, I have a great relationship with both my daughters, but I have a great relationship with my grandkids too, even though I'm not there, because we see each other all the time. We'll video chat. I video chat probably more with my granddaughter than I do because she steals her mom's phone and then walks into the other room and it calls me up. But I can watch my grandson Dash at some of his tournaments. I can watch, Declan and Dalton playing, and they can see their grandpa. It's super cool. I absolutely love it. Miss Molly's right here on the floor. Where's she at? Hey, come on. Come on up and say hi. I don't know if you can see her. Come on up. There she is. Here's the Miss Molly. Minnesota Meg says, I'm sure you said it and I missed it, but what's the winter plans for the home? Yeah, I talked about some different stuff that I want to do. I want to do some building so that I'm ready to throw a greenhouse up as soon as spring hits, as soon as the ground melts. So that's something I can do outside, inside. I'll do, I'll do most of it probably off in the shop in the new shed. I'll get most of it set up and just have it sitting outside waiting, staged and ready to go. I want to get this wall finished. Spin it around here. I want to get that wall over there done. But before I do that, I need to run some wiring in the cabin. So I'll probably start with that. I'll get some wiring done inside because I want to put some outlets. I want to put at least one outlet over on the left side of that wood stove under the big window. And then I want to put one outlet over on that side because I want to build a closet over there. So I'll need a light in there and it'd be nice to have an outlet by the door. So I'll have to get all that done before I do any closing in on anything. And then there's some more work in the kitchen I want to do too. So a little bit of inside, a little bit of outside stuff. Not all just one thing. That's good. I'm gonna have another piece. I don't think there's much in the world that's better than cold pizza. Mm. Mm. That's still working. It's still 43 degrees. It's going to take a while to heat up. Oven temperature is roughly at 300 degrees Fahrenheit. We got somebody jumping up on screen with us. Merry Christmas, Scott.
Well, Merry Christmas to you. Makes me look funny when I like that. How's your world?
It's good, man. How's yours? How was your Christmas?
It's really good, really, really nice and quaint, and just we have his wife and I, and then my youngest and her husband. We had a nice little Christmas. Nice.
Nice. You guys getting everything cleaned up after the windstorm?
Yeah. Well, that's what the new utility shed's going to be for. Is that those shelter logics did not do too well for my present. Yeah.
Nice. 15-year-old.
Yeah, we got to build a 12 by 24 just to get everything in. Oh yeah.
I'm an Irish guy. I love the Irish whiskeys. All right, my daughter's going to check in with me later. Merry Christmas, guys. I'll see you guys later on. She can do some games with the boys. And I love you too, Brienne. Very cool. So for those that don't know, Scott here at Our American Alaskan Adventures, relatively new Alaskan. When did you guys get here?
We got here like June 1st.
And bought yourself some property, building a cabin, doing the whole thing.
Yeah, we got, you kind of see, it looks just like yours.
I know that ceiling.
Yeah, exactly. It's got the mismatched color of the different installations everywhere.
Nice. Yeah. Whatever.
Over there making.
Awesome. Yeah. Whatever they had left in the store when you had to finish.
Yeah,
the ceiling before
exactly.
you could wrap it.
They literally run out of everything. It's wild. And my son-in-law on the couch over there enjoying the interwebs.
Nice. Very cool.
And then the bedroom back there. Got my horse down here on the floor.
Nice. And anyway, we had a crazy windstorm up here, and he had Shelter Logic set up, and it just shredded him. He had stuff all over the yard. So other than that, Scott, the biggest challenge so far up here.
Biggest challenge so far. So I'm like a Boy Scout on steroids. So I prepare. I have backups to backups. And we literally hit a point where all 4 generators that we had died. That they wouldn't run. And that's devastating. But I mean, now we know what we have to do. So I call it Alaska 1.1. Which will start here in the spring, but all the generators will be inside the powerhouse and permanently so that they will stay warm. That's the biggest thing really is just the shock that the cold just is brutal to everything.
Yeah, and it's one of the things nobody, including myself, took into consideration when I first came up here was when it gets that cold and it gets that cold for any amount of time, stuff just starts breaking. And it's so like an example with your generator. I have to do the same thing. I have that little wood shed I built on the outside of my door there with a where I could fill it up with wood so I don't have to keep trudging off to get it. It was, I'd go to there and get it and fill the inside of the house with it. That's going to become this week probably a shelter for my generator because same problem. I've got a brand new Honda 2200i. It's not new; it's a
Mhm.
couple of years old now, but I haven't used it a whole lot, and I can fire up my generator. I keep it in the house. I walk it outside, plug it in, fire it up, starts on the first pool, runs like a top until finally it just says, nope, it's too cold. I ain't running anymore. And it just stops. And I tried to explain that to my neighbor across the street, and he goes, that can't be right. There's something wrong. I go, no. And so he comes over yesterday, and it's running out there. And he goes, it sounds like you get your generator fixed. I go, oh, no. Just wait. Just wait. It'll run for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, but it's 10 below zero outside. And finally, it just says, I'm done. And that's it for the day. I'll bring it in. It'll go. I'll put it out today, and it'll be perfect. It'll run like a top.
So Reeve from Flat Tire Farm, he shared with me a little tip on that, and that is there's a hose that goes from the cylinder head over to the carburetor airbox.
Okay.
Unplug it from the airbox. What it is, it's a recirculation, so unspent gases go out, go back into the airbox and get reburned. But one of the byproducts of burning gas is moisture. So it sends moisture back into the carburetor and freezes up.
But I mean, it's to the point where so I've had water issues in fuel. It's Alaska. It seems like
Yeah.
every gas station I go to, there's water and fuel. It's crazy. But it's so bad that the first time that it happened, I went out there and I went to re-pull the start. I go, am I out of fuel? What's up here? And I went to and even when I went to pull it, it was like, you're not pulling me. I'm done. I'm not
Hmm.
working. And I'm like, oh, I mean, the cord would not go back in. I'm like, but I brought it
Wow.
back in the house, and 10 minutes later, everything thawed out and it was fine.
Right.
It's
Right.
yeah,
I mean, we're at the point we keep all the generators except for the big one. We have a 10,000 watt diesel generator that we have.
right,
We have 30,000 watts of batteries. We have a lot. It takes a
yeah.
while to charge. It would take like 18 hours to charge with our 3,000 Honda. So that big 10K is great. It can't go in there yet. So we have to take a propane heater or the diesel heater, and we stick it into the enclosure of the diesel generator and warm it up for 30 minutes before we can start it. And
That's yeah.
then it runs like a top.
And it's crazy. I remember before I moved up here, I had no idea before I moved up to Fairbanks because that was the first place I lived was the interior in
Wow.
Fairbanks. And when I got there, everybody said, "Hey, it's going to happen. Your vehicle will just stop working." And I go, "What are you talking about?" They go, "I'm telling you, it's just it gets cold, it doesn't warm up." And I'll never forget, I had changed every fluid in my vehicle except for the differential oil. And I'm driving to work one day and my car won't do more than 20 miles an hour. And I'm like, what? And it's just fighting and struggling. So I took it to the shop and the guy says, where'd you come here from? And I go, California. He goes, did you change your differential oil to synthetic? And I said, no, why? And he put it up on the lift and pulled the cover off the back of that thing. And it was literally clay inside because it was so
Oof.
freaking cold, because that's
Oof.
90 weight oil, thick oil to be.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, what? And he goes, give me a day. I'll let it thaw out. I'll get everything cleaned out. I'll change it over and you can come pick it up tomorrow. But it just, when it gets that cold and it stays that cold, everything just stops working. Everything starts
Right.
to break.
Yeah. I mean, but right now, at like -20, my truck makes more noises than I do when I get up in the morning. It's like,
Yeah. And so that's me. I'll start the truck up, and I said earlier that I'll fire it up with the remote start, and then I fire it up again before I'm going to leave. Right? I just one after the other because you can do it twice before it
yep.
has to reset. And if I don't do it that 2 times, just driving down my driveway, my truck sounds like it's going to explode. But in about 30 feet, it smooths out and everything's good. But I'm like, that can't be good for it.
No, it's definitely not. Which engine do you have in your truck? Your F-150?
It's the EcoBoost, so
Okay,
V6.
yeah. So my son-in-law, he has the 5 liter. His will warm up in like 15 minutes, which is surprising. My
Well,
diesel, it takes
yeah.
30 minutes before it will.
So mine warms up in 5 to 10 minutes, but it hasn't enough heat hasn't
It's
radiated to thaw
just the
everything else
core.
out. Yeah,
Wow.
and then I'll
And
get to
it's
I'll get to I'll get to town, and I stop off every morning at the Speedway gas station for coffee before I walk into the store. And I go to open my door to get out, and my door is frozen because of the drive, because it's 16 miles of 20 below zero from where I left to where I went, not counting the wind chill of everything going by
right.
the door. And it literally it takes me a second to pop that door loose to be able to get out the door. It's crazy. It's nuts. Yeah.
It's surprising. We literally, one of the things that Rob at Curmudgeon he taught us about was microclimates. In that
Mhm.
Alaska has all these little tiny microclimates. We apparently found like the coldest microclimate to buy in all of the valley area, and it is the weirdest thing. If you travel 3 miles from our place, it's 15 degrees warmer.
Yeah.
15.
It's nuts.
It's huge.
So I'm in Funny River, which is outside of Soldotna. So it's a drive of 16 miles from the front door of my place to the front door of the Safeway in Soldotna. That's where I work. And if the temperature in the summer there is, say, 65 degrees, it'll be almost 80 degrees at my cabin when I get home,
Wow.
because we're that much further away from the water, from the Cook Inlet. So by the opposite, if it's 10 below zero in town, like it was Monday, it was 24 below zero at my cabin.
the, the biggest inversion we found was it was like negative 17 here at the house. We went to Home Depot, which is just like 15 minutes away from here technically. It was 29 degrees warmer. It was in the positives. And I was like, this is not fair.
This
This
is
is right.
crazy.
We don't have the sun. We don't have any warmth. But I'll tell you what, though, in the summertime, it's absolutely amazing here. It never
And
gets
that,
above like 75.
yeah, but I mean, if you've got one season that's perfect, that's the one to have.
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah,
construction season, so I'm totally happy with that one.
exactly, right? That's crazy. I want to say hi here to Howie at Food Forest Permaculture. Merry Christmas to you as well, Howie. It is awesome to see you. May all your endeavors come to fruition. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you as well, Howie. Howie's a great guy. If you guys, if you want a positive, uplifting, awesome channel, check out Food Forest Permaculture. That's Howie, and he is. I've never left one of his videos not smiling. And then we got Charles and Annalyn. I hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas yesterday in the Philippines. Merry Christmas from the rest of the world today. So, how's the family like in Alaska?
I think well, I mean, Andrew, you like Alaska?
It's been a blast so far.
He says it's been a blast so far. He loves it. The youngest, she loves it. We're trying to coax the oldest to come up here. We think we're almost got her. Wife loves it. She was the holdout. We had planned on coming up here for 12 years, a long time, and she was the holdout. She wanted to make sure that the girls were grown up and all that, and she loves it. She really does. The cold doesn't seem to stop her, which is hilarious because I thought it would.
Right.
She's out there every day trying to find something to do. I'm like, dear, it's negative 20. Come inside.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I've got the two daughters, and my youngest one comes up every year for a week with my granddaughter, and she loves it up here. But she hasn't seen winter, and the youngest one's all, no, it snows. I'm not coming. I go. It's, yeah, but it's summer. She goes, no, it snows. I'm not coming.
I don't understand this whole snow thing. What are you talking about? I've not seen this. What is
Yeah,
this? What,
and she grew up in the snow. I mean, so I'm like, it snows at your house. She goes, yeah, but it goes away.
so far, I've experienced the same amount of snow we get in Texas.
Right? Yeah. Well, that's because it's a mild year, man. Be thankful for
This is
that.
a weird year. They said it's on track, I think, to be the driest so far since like
Yeah.
1965.
So what I saw the other day was we were the third driest already, like a week ago,
Mm.
and it was still nothing in sight. But now we've got weather coming in, hopefully.
Yeah, Anchorage is 17 inches of snow in deficit right now,
That's
which is
crazy.
off of average. Yeah, but we have half an inch of ice. That's all we have left.
Yeah, I probably have. I mean, on the driveway, the gravel's starting to come through, and where it's not, it's ice.
Mm.
On the sides, I still probably have an inch or two, but that's probably only because I ran the snowblower when we got our first storm.
I was all excited in late, late November when we got our first snow, and it was all up in the trees, and it looked amazing. And I was like, okay, I want to film a video of 10 reasons not to come to Alaska. And one of them was going to be you lean up against the tree and all the snow falls on me, and don't do that. Quite literally, that afternoon, the windstorm came through and blew every single snow off the tree. I still can't shoot it now.
So yeah, and if you want to, if you ever want to record how beautiful the trees are in Alaska when it snows, for anybody who ever comes here, and you see snow on the trees, take your video right then, because if the minute breezes kick up, within 15 minutes, even on my property, there's no snow anywhere again. It's all out of the trees and on the ground.
we we felt like we were in kind of like a protected wind area for a while because there was no wind blowing through here. But those storms were like, no, 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 we got you.
So where did you guys end up? Are you closer to Wasilla or Palmer or?
No, we're outside. We are down the Parks Highway past Wasilla.
Okay, yeah, that could be a breezy corridor.
We could go to like KGB or Parks Highway. We're in that neck of the woods by the closer to Big Lake, really.
Awesome. Okay, I know where Big Lake's at. Yeah, that describes it better. What do you guys got planned for this next year? Your first full year in Alaska.
Uh, we Now that we've kind of understand it, it's getting everything into a functional way, something we could repeat over and over again. Getting that utility shed, getting the generators in a workshop that's heated, and then finishing up the inside. I don't know about the outside. I like the Tyvek. It's the Alaska siding. I
It is.
And then I think at some point, son-in-law and daughter want to build a cabin for them. They're in a 12 by 16 right now, and it's nice. They're doing just fine in it, but a little extra room will be nice for them, I guess.
Right, right.
But then I want to get out and start working with wildlife. Because I mean, filming is what I do for profession, and I kind of took a year off from it and basically paused everything, get Alaska right, and then I'm just going to be out and about filming nature all day long.
I'm telling you, this is the most beautiful photogenic place I've ever seen in my life, and I used to live next to Yosemite National Park. This is just absolutely. You can't. I mean, I can't drive to work without seeing more wildlife in 16 miles than you'll see in 200 miles in the lower 48. It's incredible.
It is truly amazing, and I subscribe to a lot of the different Facebook like photography groups out here, and somebody will take a picture. I'm like, "Where's that? Where is that? Where can I see that?" It is gorgeous, and I'm like, we have moose that just literally walk through our property every day.
Oh yeah, yeah, I do too. I have one that likes the chickens a lot.
The chicken coop. You have the chicken moose.
Well, very cool, very cool. So your property, how big is it?
It's only 1.6 acres.
Nice. That's
It's
a good
it,
size
we
though.
we call it our starter property because our intention was to be a lot further out. I wanted to be more off trail, but with the youngins in tow, they need to be more in and out of like work and such.
Right.
So being off trail wasn't quite as possible. Cynthia, she works from home. Uh, she gets to she gets up at 4 o'clock every morning, but she she works
Right.
upstairs in the loft up there, doing medical work. And then I work remote anywhere and everywhere, so it doesn't really matter for me. Um, but we bought this one because it was either stay in an apartment and just sit there and just spend money. Oh, really? Hey, thumbs up for the apartment. Um, it's either
How can
stay
that
that and
work?
then just burn money. Um, and I didn't want to do that. So we found this little property that had like these two little sheds on it that they had. It's like they tried to make them little Airbnbs, but didn't really know what they were doing.
Right.
So we bought that. I was like, okay, I'll stay in here day one, and I'll just start working, 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 and then we can start building the cabin. And it made more sense. And then as we get more comfortable and we kind of understand the areas, we'll find like an off-trail property, and maybe we won't develop it into a full-time place, but more of a getaway place.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of one of the, like, this place was close and convenient for me to work because I go to work still every day. But I would love to have a big piece of property up towards, say, Glen Allen or something like that. I don't think I would want to do year-round living up there.
That's cold.
Yeah, because I mean the winters are just way brutal, way brutal. But it would be, I still would love to build a log cabin, by hand.
I do want to do that as well.
Yeah, and
that was, I mean, that was part of our whole plan. Was we bought the full wood the wood saw the sawmill. We bought all of that down in Texas because it was cheaper to get it there and bring it up here. So we have all that. We don't have any trees.
Yeah.
we have black spruce that are maybe 8 inches in diameter. We're not going to get a 2x4 out of that. And it's black
Exactly.
spruce. It's not that great.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I don't think a lot of people realize is they see all the trees, right? Because I share some of the aerial pictures and stuff like that. I've got all the trees, but I don't have anything, bigger than. It's rare for me to get one that's 12 inches in diameter. It's rare.
Right. We have quite a few birch on our property that are really nice, but we really like the birch. We want to keep those, so we're not going to even attempt to take those down unless it was a very, very bad year and we needed it for heat.
Right. And birch is a warmer burning wood. It's a harder wood.
Yep.
But I don't think you're really going to build a cabin out of birch, like you would out of spruce or something.
No.
I need logs about, what is that? Maybe 14 to 16 inches around.
Yep.
And, that's why if I bought another piece of property up north and built a log cabin on it, it would probably be something small, like a 16 by 16 or a 12 by 16. And it would just be a retreat as opposed to what I have here. Yeah.
We found living in Texas with property. We had 12 acres. We had 11 and a half acres. We had acreage all over the place that we had bought over the years. We discovered that we'd only needed about 2 to 3 acres maximum. Everything else is just elbow room. Is all we wanted to be separated just a little bit. What we found here, we've got our little 1.6 acres here. There's no one around us.
Yeah.
There's nothing. There's no utilities. People are like, you're not off grid. Bro, there's no utilities around here.
Well, and that's, I get a lot of comments whenever you see the house next door to me, right? And they go, hey, you don't live in the remote. I go, I never said I lived remote. I drive back and forth to work every day.
I said off grid, right?
I'm off grid. You can't even get power on this road unless you want to pay 40 grand to have it, 40 or 50 grand to have it run here. And I said, but just so everybody knows, they're at that house maybe 3 weekends a year.
Because they can't handle it.
Well, no, they live in Anchorage. It's just they just come down. It's their parents' place, and they retired in Florida. So it's greatest neighbors in the world.
Yeah. We've told Rob and Sarah and then Adam and Phyllis that because they're out there on the tracks. And I said, if there's a property that comes up, let us know. So we want to grab one right next to y'all. It's nice up there.
That would be a trip. I need to get out there. I still haven't. You've been out there to see Rob and Sarah, right?
Yeah, twice.
Yeah, I need to get out there and check his place out.
Absolutely stunning how beautiful it is and how quiet it is when there's literally 15 miles between you and any place.
Yeah, that is, and you can't drive there. It is 100% train, and if you got a problem, helicopter. It's
helicopter and train. That is it.
Yeah.
Technically, I guess you could do by boat certain times a year, but that'd be a little sketchy.
Yeah, and it's everything I've seen. It's just a beautiful piece of property. It's just absolutely beautiful piece of property.
It is, and they're surrounded by state land, which is like the golden goose right there. It's like everything around you is playground.
Yeah. Yeah, so your property line goes to there, yet you can still do whatever you want. You just can't build over there.
The state doesn't care. Yeah. Don't destroy the state land. No problem.
Yeah. Nice. Very cool.
Yeah.
So what's your channel focusing on, and where do you hope to see it go going forward?
So, Our American Adventure Alaska, which is a very long name, mostly because we've had Our American Adventure for like 25 years. We used to drive around on a fifth wheel and with our kids in tow, young, and drove around the country before there was such a thing as van life and all that. And that was our American Adventure. We were working on doing a TV series about it. We never ultimately did. So we just extended it to our American Adventure Alaska because it just made sense. And our channel is our journey here, our adventure in Alaska. Because I mean, every day it's honestly an adventure. It's it's like, what am I waking up to? It's what, and yeah, that's the goal. The goal is just to tell the stories of living here every day. And once things calm down, I mean, I'm a storyteller by trade. My videos don't necessarily show that because right now I'm squeezing in videos, making them as things are happening here like crazy. So it's tough to get into that groove. I mean, I like the level of respect for like you being a single person doing all of this and filming it as you're going and just constantly doing it. I mean, that's a dedication, and we want to share those stories. But another thing that we want to do is for my film side is I want to go around to people like you and all these other people that I made friends with, and I'm starting up a different kind of podcast than what Rob and uh, lost his name are doing. But I want to share other people's stories and just kind of do more of a storytelling hour kind of podcast. That's one of the things that I want to do. And so it'll
Nice.
be it'll be fun to get you on there and just have you just chat up a storm.
Oh heck yeah! I've been accused of many things. It's not ever being quiet.
Being quiet's not one of them.
Yeah, I've never had that problem. I've never had that problem at all. Yeah, I think that one of the neat things too is that the people that you meet up here are so I'm from California, you're from Texas. I met some
Yep.
wonderful people in Texas.
Yep.
Texas is it's if you want to draw a parallel between two states, I would say Texas and Alaska have a lot of things that the people are very common in. There's a lot of faith based, and then there's a lot of people that aren't. But then nobody bashes anybody for
Yeah.
being what they are.
Nobody truly cares.
Yeah,
I mean, nobody cares against somebody. They care for people.
yeah. It's a level of independence of the population. I think that's
Yeah.
amazing. But in Alaska, man, you make a friend up here, you made a friend for life. It's absolutely
Yeah.
crazy.
And
Yeah, they're
and there are a few and far between that are just kind of like, really, guy, really, you're
yeah.
that guy. But I would say almost every single person we've even just run into in a store, the nicest people. They literally will stop on the side of the road and help you. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
it's amazing. I love it. That's the attitude
yeah.
we all need.
Yeah, I mean, and that's one of the things that drew me to the state to begin with, besides the wilderness, because I obviously love the wilderness. It was the people that I met. I'm like, I'm in a hotel. It's 1983. I'm in a hotel that was recently torn down in Anchorage. Um, and I rented a car, and it's been my dream to ever, come here. And every single day I leave the hotel and I go travel somewhere in Alaska, and I drive back to the hotel that night. So by the second day, this group of businessmen that were there the day before and the day they say, "Hey, come on over. Where are you from?" Introduce themselves to me. Okay, have you been here yet? Okay, put this on your list. Put this on your and then when I would come back, they come on over. Tell us about your adventures for today. It was incredible. It was just so fun.
Yeah, that it's it's very similar. Yeah, and it surprises me how many people in Alaska are not from Alaska. It's
Yeah.
most of them. I mean, there's not very many people here, I guess technically, so you're really running into a pretty shuffled deck, I would say. But like the number of people that we see from Texas, it cracks us up.
Well, it's oil country,
It's
so
true.
I think that has a lot of why there's so many Texans up here.
And it was funny too, like the big oil company that's up here, that I guess people love and hate, Hillcorp. I used to work
Yeah,
for them when they were tiny.
yeah.
I did their IT for years.
You talk about so many people from Alaska not being Alaskans, because I honestly believe that probably 75% of the people that live here weren't born here. I mean, it's a huge number. So
Yeah.
when I lived up here the first time, it was 98 to 2001. And I lived in a community called Two Rivers, Alaska, which is just outside of Fairbanks. So stopped off at the local watering hole, having beers in there. And they had a BBC film crew in there with these actors and British actors and actresses. And they were filming their take on Alaska type of deal. And they asked me and two other guys that were sitting there, is it okay if you guys are in the shot? We're filming for blah, 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 blah. And they told us, introduce themselves, gave us the cards and everything else. And, we don't expect you to talk or anything, but you're probably going to end up in the picture that as we're shooting these other folks for where they're sitting at. And we go, yeah, not a problem at all. And the guy goes, it'll be neat, though, to have real Alaskans in the background. And I looked at the guy and I go, I'm from California. And the guy next to me goes, I'm from Boston. And the guy next to him goes, I'm from Boca Raton, Florida. And the guy goes, wait, what? He goes, you guys are all from warm states and it's 40 below zero out there right now. You're sitting here having an ice cold beer. We go, yeah.
Yep. Yes, we are.
Yeah. But it was a neat thing. It was a neat, I don't know. I never get tired. I never get tired.
No, there's a draw to Alaska. And I think the way I would summarize it is it's for people to find and or nourish their self-worth. In other words, you take the average 25-year-old manly man today. He doesn't know how to build a house. No. He's afraid to, because he sees how it's done, and he's like, I can't do that. Sure, you can. Yeah. And it's about everything that you do up here. You're fighting everything that wants you to not succeed, but you're doing it, and it's a builder. We fortunately had learned how to build a house from our previous house, but it took a while. We weren't very good at it. Now we're really, really good at it. We got this puppy up really fast.
Nice. Yeah, and
but go ahead.
That's the crazy thing too, is like you're saying. So the first time I ever built anything was this place, and then it was a struggle. It was tough. It was trying to get it done. It was, when I built that shed, it was like, this thing went up so freaking easy and so quick. It was ridiculous. I'm like, okay, I want to build more.
Yeah, it's not hard. It's just hard work. It is. Yeah, I mean, now my son-in-law, he's excited because he wants to build his place, and he's way more like feeling like he can do it. And that, to me, that's Alaska. That's building self-worth, and that's what I think everybody really comes here for, is for everything to mean something to you.
Right. I mean, and it does. My son-in-law has a background in construction, and my daughter's showing him these pictures as I'm building all this stuff, and he's all, wait, your dad did that? Your dad never built anything when I knew him down here. Nope, he did it, And then, I toot my own horn because I survived in a fifth wheel trailer in Alaska at 20 something below zero, right? Was stupid on some points, but on other points, I'm like, I did that. And that's the whole reason for starting the YouTube, is so my kids and grandkids could look at it. And in my mind, I'm thinking, when they tell me they can't do something, I'm going to say, really? Here, watch this. Because the satisfaction that comes with being somewhere like this and doing something like we're doing, the personal satisfaction is phenomenal. I've never felt anything like it in my life.
When I found you, I was in my absorption phase for, okay, well, let's get prepared for Alaska, and you were still constructing your cabin, and you were out there, your utilikilt, and you're in the snow, and I'm like, okay, this guy's gonna be one of those crazy Alaskans. He's gonna be out there going, I can do anything. But I watched you. I was like, okay, well, he's kind of fun to watch. Okay, and you just get out there every day, and you just whittle away at that stick a little bit every single day. And I was like, okay, this is perfect. And I showed you to Cynthia, and she's like, oh, I like him. He's fun.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think that being honest is the best thing that you can be. There's only one of you. Be that.
You don't have to remember anything,
right?
You just be yourself.
And I'll watch. There's channels I've watched that their content was really, really awesome, and I didn't get into it because I didn't believe the people. And then there's
Yeah.
other channels where their content's probably not that great, but I can't stop watching them because they're so believable, likable, real. I'm like, this
Right.
is freaking awesome, you know. And then you'll find a combination every once in a while. You find both, and you're like, okay, I'm good.
Yep.
Like Goodness. I taught this guy up all the time. Is just to me, number one, he has a film background, right? So he does drone work and stuff for companies. He has video editing, you know, background, but it's entertaining. It's struggling at the same time. It's, you know, victories, it's losses, and it's everything that a great drama is, right?
Right. Right. It's real. I mean,
Yeah,
that's day in the life of everybody. An influencer wants to just show you the highlights and make it look like everything's good. And
right.
I don't want to do that. I want
No,
to share something real, and I want to consume something real. And I'm like,
yeah,
I'm not going to watch the flashy ones. I don't care.
no. I mean, if I may turn something on like that for 15 or 20 minutes to find something out, but I can usually tell within the first 5 minutes, okay, you know what? I'm not going to find anything out in this video. So
Well,
I'm
I
done.
mean,
I'm out.
you can learn at least one thing from every person that you meet, and that
Yep.
could be, I don't want to learn that.
Yeah. I like that. And I don't want to learn that as a valid thing to do too.
Yeah, I don't want to learn that way. I don't want to be that way. I don't want to see that way. Yeah, that's one way.
Yeah. I don't know. It's great. I've loved it. I've loved the YouTube journey just because of everything I've learned on it. It's crazy. I would love to be better with a camera. But when I look back at what I started with and where I'm at now, I'm much better than I was.
Well, I can help.
Yeah.
Shoot me
I mean,
some questions.
you've got that.
I get you started the right way. Well,
And I'd
you're
love
well
to
started.
do, like I said, you know, I'd love to do more. I like the editing, but I need to do more. I call it B-roll, you know, where it's
Yep.
not just all focused on Sean pounding a nail here today.
Yep.
But I think Simple Living Alaska does a pretty good job where they'll throw in a clip of, you know, their chickens out foraging, and then there's a moose off on the side, and I need to
Yep.
get, you know, better at that kind of stuff. But I also need to record that kind of stuff, and I really don't.
But they've been doing this for a long time as well, and they didn't do that originally. They've
Right.
learned over time. As you know, it's a balance. So you're throwing in, millions of people to watch into your life, and how much do you want to share? How much, I'm an open book, so I don't care. Cynthia's like, could you stop being such an open book? The
Yeah.
it's how much you want to share, and then how much time does that take out of your day to share that? And once you've achieved that, then you start filling it in. Okay, I could tell this story better. I could add some B-roll and all that kind of stuff. And I'm the same way. I like right when we're building this cabin, she was just on me like crazy, which is funny. I'm the commercial filmmaker, and she's on me going, film this, film this, film that. I'm like, I just want to get the roof on. I just want to get the roof on.
And then, like you
She's over there
said, when you're doing
snickering.
it by yourself, you know, so there's no cameraman for me most of the time when I'm doing
Right,
stuff. It's like Sean
right.
stops, moves the camera. Sean stops, move the camera. So I've gotten to the point, like when I did the roof on the cabin, I go, you're probably not going to see a whole lot here because I frankly don't want to keep walking down to move the camera. But instead, I got the drone and I had the drone hovering up there. So I'm okay. The drone can record me while I'm working.
But what's interesting is there's an audience for that too. There are
Yeah.
people who absolutely don't want to see B-roll. They just
Yep.
want to see the static shot of you building. They don't want to hear you talk sometimes. I mean, it's just it's a wild thing. There's an audience for everything. And to me, it's you need to do whatever you are.
Exactly.
Whatever makes you happy, that it's not a chore. It's just you being you, because then you're not faking anything.
Right.
You don't have to remember anything, and it's fun and healthy to do what you're doing. And that's, you found your spot.
Yeah,
You
that's
found exactly who you are.
Yeah, that's 100%. And you'll get comments. I'll never forget when I got my first negative comment. I was excited because I thought I finally made it. Somebody doesn't like me. This is freaking awesome. And they didn't like me enough to actually say some really negative stuff. And I'm like, it didn't bother me a bit because I'm all, yeah, they're right. That's exactly who I am, and I'm not changing.
But my favorite one, and I have somewhat tough skin. I had a video that took off, and there's music in the background, and people are like, "Oh my God, this music is absolutely horrible, horrible." Oh, would you stop it? Well, I wrote that music. It was my music. Thanks.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, yeah. All the music that we have on our channel now is all music that I wrote.
Oh, that is
Uh,
awesome, man.
Originally, it was we used some of the audio services, but now it's like I actually like some of it, so I'm like, oh, I'll just do that. I got so many songs I can't sing for flip, so
Right. I have I,
I have
I
other
have,
people
I've had
singing.
I've had multiple comments about what tune are you whistling, and I'm all, I'm not whistling any tune. They go, no, you're whistling a song. I go, I'm not. It's not a song. I'm just whistling. It's just how it's coming out. I have no idea what it's called.
Oh my, yeah, I'm making noise all the
Yeah.
time.
Hey, when you're by yourself doing something, to make that noise in the background, it's kind of nice to keep your mind focused and keep you in the right direction. You know.
Oh, I think I lost you. Oh,
Nope. You
there
there?
you are. Something happened. I think I lost you there.
I know. I see you.
Okay, there we go.
There
Yeah, I
you
just completely vanished. You went off into the matrix, and then
go. Oh. Crazy. Are you? What are you using for internet? Starlink.
Starlink. Yeah,
Nice. How do you like it?
we love it. We started using it in Texas because where we were in Texas, there was literally nothing,
Right.
and we were the very first Starlink customer on our cell when they were able to sell. And I mean, we just instantly we got one of the little Starlink minis. I think you were talking about on one of
Right.
your like, and we
Yeah.
put it on the truck when we moved up here. We never lost signal the entire drive all the way from Texas through the mountains. Never
Wow.
once did we lose anything all the way up here. And I was like, yeah, this is it.
Nice. That's very cool. Very cool. I love it. I mean, it allows me to do this kind of stuff that I was really having, I was really struggling with before, just hotspotting off the phone. And it sure makes uploading videos a whole lot easier.
Yeah, it does. Are you in the discounted area or are you in the full price area?
I'm in the full price area.
Yes, it basically looks like anywhere that's got population, that's full price.
Right. Well, and the whole state of Alaska was a discount area to begin with for the longest time.
It was, yeah,
Yeah. And then they, I guess within the last year and a half, so I had to pay like $300 when I signed up
yep,
as a high
yeah.
use area fee.
Yes, exactly. We brought ours from Texas, and we had to pay that. I'm like, well, I'm already a customer. Nope, nope. It's fine. Well,
All right.
appreciate you having me on. I think I'll let you continue on your live and chat with the folks. I don't want to take up all your time.
Awesome. No, thanks, Scott. I greatly appreciate it. You guys, if you haven't had a chance yet, go check out Our American Adventure Alaska. Scott and his family up here from Texas as of last year, and you'll get to follow the journey basically from day one, which is super, super awesome. Scott, thanks for joining me.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
That's cool. I'm telling you. Yeah, it's been one of the funnest things in my life. One of the funnest things in my life. What's his page? His page is, he's right up here. I wish I could have done this better. Let me hang on one second, folks. I don't know if you can see that screen. Let me go here. Scott, do me a favor and tag yourself or just say something in a comment real quick. I'm going to pull your page up and share it. I should be better at this. And the update on the prime rib, it's at 81 degrees Fahrenheit right now, folks. So it's slowly but surely climbing. There we go. Our American Adventure Alaska. Easiest way to do it would be this way. Our American Adventure Alaska. Come on. Because I don't think I'm subscribed to you either, Scott. So we're going to make sure that happens. Let's go here. I am not. So I am now subscribed. Rang the bell. Copy, paste. There you go. That's the link to get you there. And I'm subscribed as well. I actually had met Scott like 2 years ago. And, we've messaged each other. I mean, we've kind of, sent stuff back and forth. We're friends on Facebook. I mean, everything. And I've never subscribed to the channel. That's on me. Shame on me. Brenda, Merry Christmas. Hope you had a fantastic holiday. I hope everything is well for you and your family. I want to kind of give you guys a peek of the prime rib. I can smell it. It smells so good in here right now. But I don't think we're going to be on for that long. It's been like a little over 3 hours right now, which is close to a record for me. Let me see if I can pop that thing out of the oven real quick. Give you a close peek at how it's cooking up, because I haven't even looked at it yet either. Okay. Oh, that thing is looking beautiful. I'm not going to lie. It's cooking up rather nicely. I don't know if you can really see that well. I'm going to pop it back in there. Let it keep doing its thing. I'm going to get my potatoes ready to go in. We'll do that in some foil. So for those just joining or who have joined since I started these potatoes are just little spuds. And all I did was cut them in half. And then they're red, whites, and purples. Cut them in half, hit some olive oil in them. Some thyme, some rosemary, some chopped up, rough chopped garlic. Get them all sitting face up. And I think I'll just leave them on this little pizza tray and put them down towards the bottom. How's that sound? Put them up on top. There we go. We'll let those roast up. I still have quite a bit of time left on that roast, so it's not a race. It's not a marathon, it's a sprint. Or it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Yes. Your film-based channel, which is just you. I think you guys talked when you lived in Texas. That's right. I think we did, John. Because I was searching for areas, and Sean's area was high on our list, mostly because Sean does a great job of showing his area. Now, if I could just get the real estate agents down here to give me a cut, I'd be greatly appreciated. I love where I live, man. Yeah, if you can't tell, I absolutely love where I live. All right, anybody else got anything? Anybody new showed up? Want to see the Christmas tree video? Well, let's do that. I'm going to pop up the Christmas tree video real quick. These are all the trees that were sent to me via the Facebook page, Sean in Alaska, and they're all trees that viewers of the channel have shared.
Oh, Christmas tree, how lovely are thy branches. Oh, Christmas tree, how lovely are thy branches. The sight of thee at Christmas time brings hope and gladness far and wide. Oh, Christmas tree, how lovely are thy branches.
I love my Christmas tree. Merry Christmas to me, or Merry Christmas to you from Molly and I. And some people jump in here. I did want to give a shout out here, Alaska Frontier 167. Merry Christmas. Thanks for joining us. The YouTube channel that I give a shout out to is a great channel if you're an aviation enthusiast and you love Christian content with adventure and family. And that channel is, I had to scroll back because I was in the middle of talking to Scott when I saw that. Dads and Sons Alaskan Adventures, or Alaska Adventures, which is super cool. Cindy, thank you very much. I did catch that shout out or that super chat. I greatly appreciate it. It's super, super awesome. But I wanted to give you a personal thank you for that. Scroll back down here again. Definitely. Scott, thanks for joining me up here. I hope you guys have a fantastic dinner. Merry Christmas to you and your family. Marilyn, welcome. Merry Christmas to you. Glad you could make it. Renee says, Merry Christmas, everybody, and a Happy New Year. And bye to Ward. Deborah Thacker, I missed you coming in. Merry Christmas to you. I hope your Christmas was fantastic. While we're sitting here chatting, I'm going to walk away from the screen again, but I'll turn it over this way a little bit so you guys can watch. And this is the process that I go through when it's time to fire up the generator. And since my temperatures right now are right around 0, I don't really like running the generator if I don't have to, when we're like 10 and 15 below 0. Right now, we're at like 3 below, which is not a big deal. It could be a little bit higher actually outside. This is just the National Weather Service version of it. So this is what I got to go through every day to do that. Molly's probably going to come too. And excuse the papers on the floor over there. While we were chatting, Molly decided she would grab a paper towel and shred it. All right, I got a hat. So did you do it again? Thank you. Wait. Thank you very much. I love it. Very cool. All right, let's go. This is what I had the routine I kind of got to go through. So I keep the generator sitting right over here. Wrist just doesn't work on that hand anymore. Coming outside, Bill? Coming outside, little girl? Come on, let's go. And then I go through this. Top the fuel up. I like to put a little splash of heat in my tank before I fill it up when it's real low. Thank you. Make sure she's all propped up. Always, and I mean always, have a spare full gas can sitting around, especially on holidays. Gosh. Hush. Good working at people. Hey, get up here. Plug her in. Turn it on. Choke it. One ball. There we go. Come on, Molly. That's the routine I got to go through to fire up the generator. While I'm at it, let's go. Come on. Come on. Yeah, come on. We'll go ahead and we'll top off the Bouger V heater. I've been running that for a bit. Right. Needed something. Okay. Take that and put it back outside. Come back here. Come on. All right. Scott, thank you, brother. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Hang on. Let me get this off. There we go. Curmudgeon, nice to see you still going. Sean Alaska just finished baking the blue Hubbard squash. Now getting ready to stuff the duck in the oven. Very nice. The temperature on the prime rib is now 100 degrees. So we're getting close, folks. We're getting close to taking that thing out. And Scott, brother, thank you very much. Greatly appreciated. Greatly appreciated. So yeah, that's kind of the routine that I do first thing when I come home. Every day, and I'm going to run the generator. Is I come into the house, do what I got to do, bring the generator out, gas it up, get it plugged in, fire it up, grab the diesel fuel, bring it over, top off the Bouge RV diesel heater, and then I'm ready to go. I don't have to worry about anything. I don't have to be surprised. I always have an extra gas can. I always have a minimum of one extra bottle of propane, big bottle of propane for the buddy heater in case I need it. I learned that after my first couple of winters in Alaska. Pretty uncomfortable days a couple of times there. I got one more thing to take care of first, and then I shall be right back to. Hey, don't scratch on that. Hey, watch the tree. I swear, I'm sure that there's a million times throughout the day that she almost knocks that Christmas tree over. But I'm not here to see him, so I don't freak out. So the minute I see the tree start to move in any way, shape, or form with her around it, I start to freak out. Be charming. Merry Christmas. All right. Oh, that smells just beautiful. I can smell the garlic roasting off those potatoes right now. Be charming. Merry Christmas. Glad you can make it today. Oh, I don't know if I could do this or not. Let me see if I can. Oh, wait. I had it. USB. I'm going to see if I can pull up a video file off my phone. Oh, how's today? Let's see if I can do this one. That's just not right. That's just not right at all. Coldest temperature of the year so far. Coldest temperature of the season. 25 below zero as I'm headed into work, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. It's rough on vehicles, man. It's rough on Sean. That's super cool. I didn't know I could do that. I just pulled that up off my phone. I record. For those that have been watching the channel for a while, it's no surprise. I use the phone a lot, for close work, and then I got the camera, and then occasionally I pull out the drone. But I record a whole bunch of stuff on the phone, and sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. But I thought I'd share that with you. That was Monday morning driving to work. It was 25. It actually got to 26 below zero, and absolutely, absolutely crazy. How cold that is. And when it's 20 below zero or colder, it's just too cold. I don't care who you are. Did I get new PJs for Christmas? No, I didn't get PJs for Christmas. I don't wear pajamas. I sleep in my boxers. That's it. Right? Your coldest day was 11 below zero? Oh, we're getting close now, folks. 106. 106. I think I'm going to pull it at like 115. I think I'm going to pull it at 115. And then we'll let it rest on the outside. And you'll hear me talking twice. So now that I know I can do this with the cell phone, I'll record what it looks like close up so you can see it with decent light, and then I'll bring it back and show you on the phone here. Very cool. The coldest, I say it all the time. The coldest I've ever been in was 63 below zero, and I'm telling you right now, that's ridiculous. It was ridiculous. The vehicle that I took a cab to the Blue Loon on New Year's Eve, and that's a bar outside of Fairbanks by Fox, Alaska. And I took a cab there for a big New Year's Eve party they were having. And that cab ride in 30 minutes, the cab never got warm. It never warmed up at all. It was crazy how freaking cold that was. You don't want to break down this time of year without having plenty of stuff to keep you warm in your vehicle. I've actually even thought when it was that bad that I might take the diesel heater with me to work, just because, when you break down in a situation like that, you just need something to keep warm. But I'm dressed really, really warm. When I'm leaving the house in those kind of temperatures, I'm wearing long johns, thermal t-shirts, multiple layers of socks, multiple layers of clothing, and I always have a big heavy blanket in the truck too. So, and then here comes Charles. I think our coldest day here was 74. Looks like you got three of the people the same. Nice. I'm excited to taste this prime rib tonight. I'm not lying. 108. Once it starts climbing, it really starts climbing. So that's why you got to kind of keep an eye on everything. Yeah, we'll pull the potatoes out and take a peek at those too, because those might have to cook a little bit longer before I call them. I'll have to flip them anyway. So maybe I'll pull them out and I'll flip them, and then we'll crank the oven back up. I'll slide them back in so they get nice and hot roasted. And then once the oven reaches that higher temperature, I'll throw the prime back in and let it finish off. And then all I got left to do is, while the prime's resting, I'll cook up the Brussels sprouts. We're probably going to call this live one way or another, maybe in the next 15 to 30 minutes, just because I have got some prep to do. I'd like to eat dinner around 3 if I could. That'd be nice. Nice, nice, nice. See if I can give you any other stuff that I did recently. I can get that. I can move that from the studio. Give you some sneak peeks if I can. Showing in Alaska videos. This one here. Oh, I'll give you guys a sneak peek on something that I think you'll really like. I don't know if that's going to do it or not. Is that it, or is that it? Okay, let's see. Let's see if this one comes up. This is the sunrise. I want you to watch the top of that mountain, the very tip top of that mountain. So this is a time lapse of the sunrise over Mount Redoubt. And this is over about 35 minutes, but like I said, it's a time lapse. I haven't really seen this myself other than looking at it through the cell phone. So, Josh, Merry Christmas, man. Glad you can make it. Hope your Christmas was fantastic. I mean, basically, because the way the sun is so low on the horizon, it starts at the tip, the point on the top of that mountain, and then just lights up all the way down, and then the entire range over there just lights up afterwards. Is that pretty or what? That is gorgeous. There you go. That'll be in an upcoming video. I'm going to get rid of that again. Then we'll give you another sneak peek. Here's the eagles. Stepped off to take a look at the wildlife. Let's see how much we can zoom in here. That's one of the two. I don't know where the other one's at right now. She's probably on a tree, or he was probably on a tree close by. And with them always hangs out, for whatever reason, these crows. Got to town, and the warmest temperature I found was 8 below zero. On the hill, getting ready to drop back down into Funny River, and it's 11 below zero out here right now. But yeah. Just a bald eagle doing bald eagle things, just hanging out and waiting to see something it can eat. So yeah, just some of the stuff that I see. I think actually both those clips might be from the same day. From me going to work that morning. Was that? No, that was me going to work, but that was Sunday. So that was I was going to do laundry, and I went and did my laundry at the laundromat, and then I drove over to that point where I can look out at Mount Redoubt across Cook Inlet and did that time lapse of the mountain. And then on the way back from that was the bald eagle. So yeah. Yeah, here. This is crazy. Move that one from studio. We're at 113 degrees, so I'm getting pretty close. I'm going to give it a couple more degrees up, and then we'll go ahead and we'll pull it out. It'll be at 115, and the carryover heat should still allow it to go. I should get, let me do this. I should get my foil ready. Perfect. If it burns, it goes on the counter, and then it gets tossed in the bucket. Now we'll take a look at those potatoes. Oh, those are roasting up nicely. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's an incredible place for sunrises. Incredible place. Merry Christmas, Scotty. How you doing, brother? Scotty's Backyard Barbecue. You want to learn how to cook anything on a grill? Scotty at Scotty's Backyard Barbecue. Share your link, brother. Is the place you want to go, because the man's got the golden touch with the grill. The man has got the golden touch. All right, we're at 115 right now. So I'm going to go ahead and take this out. That's a beautiful piece of meat. I'm not going to lie. Oh, that's gorgeous. Here, bring my cell phone over here. Like I said, I'm going to record this, and then you're going to hear a lot of this again when I show you the video. There it is. The herbs on the outside of that. Oh, that is just absolutely gorgeous. Like I said, 115 degrees Fahrenheit right now. So, put the phone up for a second. Just kind of keeping a little bit of heat in there. Like I said, that's going to keep going up. Then we'll take a peek at the potatoes. Check off. Move around. Thank you. Careful. Go ahead and get those flipped over. That's where we're at with those right now. I'll crank the heat up on the oven. Take it up close to 500 degrees. How's that sound? Stuff turned over. All right, we got the potatoes all flipped over and ready to go. Scotty says here. Scotty's coldest day here was 18 below a few weeks ago. He's in Wisconsin. Thanks, Cindy. I like doing them. I'm telling you, I have a ton of fun doing these lives. If they weren't fun for me, I wouldn't do them. Yeah, he gets some crazy weather there too. Usually when he starts making fun of me in Alaska and the temperatures in Alaska, we start to warm up and he starts to get cold. It's fate. He's doing it to himself. It's 33 degrees for him now. Michigan Daffodil, Merry Christmas. Just got home for an afternoon with some family at your mom's. That is super cool. Merry Christmas to you. Okay, let's see if I can bring that little video up that I just took, and I'll show you what that prime rib looks like right now. Plug the phone in. And then for whatever reason now, I gotta give it permission every time I want it to access. Go in here, video file. It's going to take a second. Showing in Alaska. PCIM, camera. Large view because my eyes are too small. All right, let's see if this works. All right, here we go. Ready? Outside of that, oh, that is just absolutely gorgeous. Like I said, 100. Okay, hang on. Back it up here. There it is. Look at all the herbs on the outside of that. Oh, that is just absolutely gorgeous. Like I said, 115 degrees Fahrenheit right now. So, put my phone up for a second. I'm just kind of keeping a little bit of heat in there. Like I said, that's going to keep going up. And then we'll take a peek at the potatoes. Chat balls. Move, girl. Thank you. Careful. ahead and get those flipped over. That's where we're at with those right now. I'll crank the heat up on the oven. Let's take it up close to 500 degrees. How's that sound? That's it. That's where dinner's at right now. Oh, I love this. I love the fact that I can pull these up. I'm learning so much more on this. It's super cool. Yeah, take that one out. While we're sitting here chatting, I'm going to take a peek and see if it's starting to climb anymore. Ah. There we go. Yeah, see, it climbed up already to 120 degrees Fahrenheit, which is right where I want it to be. So, pulling it at the time that I pulled it was absolutely perfect. As a matter of fact, I'm probably going to pull that foil off the top of it because I don't want it to get much more heat going into that meat. I want to make sure that I stay nice and rare on the inside of that. But yeah, that was crazy. That was good. Folks, we'll go another 15 minutes and then we're going to call it a day for this Christmas. And that'll be like 4 hours of live chat with me, which is probably 3.5 hours too much. I got a million things, messages, probably from my brothers. Got a Merry Christmas from work. Comments from the kids. I got to go back and check out all the pictures my kids got. Asked a friend of mine what she got for Christmas. If she, what her Christmas gifts were today, and she goes, she made out good. She got all her own gifts, and her daughter wrapped them. That's awesome. I know, right? I've been here for 3 hours and 44 minutes and 30 seconds right now. Where were you? That's why I don't make a deal out of the Christmas live because folks have families they want to hang out with, and folks who don't have anything to do, they'll find us. They'll figure it out. We'll hang out together. We'll have some fun. Um, but I don't want people to feel obligated that they got to show up just because I went live on Christmas Day. Spend the day with those you love, man. Spend the day with your family. Have fun. Generator's running great. I'll tell you right now. We're like a minute, almost 2 minutes more daylight per day right now, which is awesome. And it just, like we talked about last week, it keeps ramping up. So far today, I have made, if it works, there we go, like 140 watt hours, which isn't a lot of power, which is why I got to fire the generator up. And on the generator, there we go. Battery number one's at 81%. And battery number one and number two are my original two batteries, and my system doesn't discharge equally, which is something I got to work on. Battery number two is at 80%. And then battery 3 and battery 4 were the second set of batteries that I bought from Vader. I used my PFD to get that. Battery 3 is at 64%. And battery number 4, come on, 64% as well. And each one of the batteries is taking roughly the same amount, but anywhere from 15 to 18 amps of power off the generator right now. It's all a numbers game with solar and battery backup, just making sure that you have sufficient power to keep everything charged and that you have sufficient power in the system to last until your next possible charge. As the days get longer, this won't become a problem, and I won't have to fire the generator up at all because unless I'm running big power tools, because it'll end up just the sun itself will power everything up super, super easy. Dude. Take a peek at that temperature again. Ah, yeah, see, way too hot. Hopefully, they didn't overcook that. It's heated up to like 126 now. For dinner tonight for me, Michigan Daffodil is prime rib, roasted potatoes, and with rosemary, garlic, olive oil, and thyme, salt and pepper, and then Brussels sprouts. I'll do those in cast iron. I'll saute those up. But yeah, that's my dinner tonight. Looking forward to it. It's gonna be yummy. I'm pretty excited. And a nice cold beer or three, and maybe a good movie. I don't know. I'll have to see if I can find a good movie to watch. Something that's not Christmassy. I watched from basically Thanksgiving Day until um, last night, and there's only 2 nights that I missed a movie, and that was Monday night and Tuesday night. I watched a different Christmas movie every night. So yeah, I'm done with Christmas movies for the year. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be real good. I finished everything up with White Christmas last night, um, but I saw like I'd never seen the Christmas Chronicles before with Kurt Russell, and it was friggin' awesome. So yeah, I was super happy with the movie selection that I had. Die Hard, of course, because can't be a Christmas movie without watching Die Hard. And don't argue with me on that. It's a Christmas movie. And I know Bruce Willis said it wasn't, but now we all know Bruce Willis has some cognitive function issues. So, you know, yeah. Secondhand Lions is a good movie. I love that movie. That movie that movie was fantastic. That was the kid was great in that movie. Was it Haley Joel Osment? Is that who that was? I don't know. I mean, we'll watch something. Maybe I'll watch something epic. Maybe I'll do like Lord of the Rings or something crazy epic. Tash, right on. That's my grandson. What's up, dude? Merry Christmas, bud. I'm gonna video chat with you guys later on tonight so I can see all the stuff you got, man. But I'm super, super excited to see you jump in here. It's my grandson Dash, greatest kid in the world. I want to get him up here to Alaska so I can take him fishing. Uh, Maybe spend a summer up here with me, right? Shh, don't tell your parents, bud. Yep, I thought that was his name. And this excites me. It's Dash, freaking awesome. Dashia, my first grandkid right there. Smart as a whip in school, great kid, awesome big brother. Right? Merry Christmas, ship me up there. Smart as, like I said, smart as a whip. Just got to get your mom to go for you being on the plane by yourself, man. Uh, and then, or she can fly up here with you. I really don't care. Fly up here with you, spend a couple of days or whatever, or your dad, and then leave you here, and then fly back up and get you at the end of the summer, and spend a couple of days here, and then go back. So yeah, either way works for me, man. I want to have you up here. I want to take you salmon fishing, buddy. I want to catch all kinds of crazy sockeye salmon, fill up a freezer so you can take all that back home to your mom and dad. What are you doing, puppy? No, no. I think the puppy ate something the puppy should. Ah, let me. No, no moose this week. I didn't have any moose this week at all. Okay, there we go. Puppy got a little tummy ache. Temperature on the stove. go a little bit further. Yeah, she's sitting down here. She's right over here. Let's see if we can see her. Molly, say hi. How's your kitten doing, bud? How's your new cat? Want some water, girl? That'll work. Just more water. Then I have to sweep up all the mess little Miss Molly made in the house while we were video chatting, folks. My dog drinks bottled water. Oh, right on, bud. Right on. Very cool. All right, folks, I think we're going to call it. I'm going to head out of here and finish everything up. I got to get some stuff cleaned up here before I get dinner going, before I get walked into the kitchen. And then enjoying the rest of my Christmas day. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas as well. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for hanging out with me. I greatly appreciate it. I love doing the Christmas Live just because we just hang out. There's no format. There's nothing, planned or anything. We just hang out together and have a good time. And I hope you had a great time as well. I hope your Christmas was absolutely wonderful. If you're still celebrating it, I hope it ends absolutely wonderfully as well. And I want to thank each and every one of you guys for watching the channel and for supporting me and for hanging out on the live. As always, I am Sean in Alaska, and thank you guys very, very much. We'll head out the door with some Christmas trees.
Oh, Christmas tree, how lovely are thy branches. Oh, Christmas tree, how lovely are thy branches. The sight of thee at Christmas time brings hope and gladness far and wide. Oh, Christmas tree,
Thank you guys all very much once again. Merry Christmas and good night.